Dog Radio.
Hey-o. Hey, everybody.
Oh, I thought I was supposed to kick stress out the door.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Stress.
What are you stressed about now?
Coming to you live
You're
from the Apex here in Las Vegas, Nevada. What a full action-packed week we are going to have here. Last night was Dana White Contender Series, and I'm sure you didn't watch. 4 of the 5 got contracts. 4 of the 5 were monsters. The one that didn't won the fight, but he was a huge favorite, and Dana wasn't happy with his performance. So you need to come in here on every night, but especially when you're trying to get a contract, and impress the boss. And the one fighter didn't. The other 4 did, and that was last night. Today's a new day.
Okay. Yeah, the city of sin. Is it still sinful out there? Like, what's the vibe of Las Vegas? I hear it changed. I heard it's more of like a sports town now. It's a biohacking hub. People getting healthy out in the desert. Do you see the debauchery of what makes Sin City so legendary?
Honestly, I really didn't get a chance. I came in, I got here late morning. I ran around. I ran to Extreme Couture. I met Alex Kappa for lunch, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
Got into my room, had to change it. Obviously, issues as always. I didn't stress about it. I just said, "Is there any chance? If not, I'll sleep on the floor. Not a big deal." And then I came to the Apex, so I really didn't get a chance. Tomorrow will be a day that I'm going to go out, and kind of catch the vibe, as you like to say.
Yeah. And when you say you ran to Couture, you drove a car, you meant. Like you didn't physically run to Couture, did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. All right. Just making sure we're accurate for the fans.
No,
Sure
you're right. You're right. I drove.
Shout out to Cap, my number 2 favorite fan on the planet.
Yeah, it was good catching up. We went to one of my favorite restaurants out here, Roll and Smoke. Hung out for about an hour and a half. We talked very little football, but we did talk a little about the Raiders. As some of you may know, Alex is a huge MMA fan, thanks to me. I didn't know much about it, that's everything, how I start and all that kind of stuff, talking about the UFC. Of course, I don't talk UFC with UFC fighters. I try to talk, other stuff. But it was good catching up. He's happy here in Vegas. Gets to spend a lot of time with his 2 boys. Yeah, and then I ran here. So I really didn't get to do a whole lot yesterday. Today, action-packed as well. So the live broadcast from 9 to noon Pacific, 12 to 3 Eastern. Then there's a media event. They have a lounge here at the Apex now.
Oh, really?
Just in case we want to be, proper. I don't know if it's at the Apex or across the street at the main building. I really don't know where it is. Sponsored by Happy Dad.
Okay, nice.
With them.
Of course.
So the guy who was going to beat your butt will be there from Happy Dad. And Sean will be there, I'm sure, all the higher-ups as well. And then from there, most will take the bus. I don't want to be locked into a bus. I'll drive to Red Rock. And the premiere of The Smashing Machine, Ryan Bader will be there. Mark Coleman will be there. I don't know. Dwayne may be. He may not be. We're really not sure. And that's today.
Wow. That's cool.
So
sounds like an action-packed day.
Yeah. I hope it slows down a little, because getting this ready, we got 2 computers hooked up. The guest will be live on as well. That's why I wanted to get here early and try to get everything knocked out. But we'll see. Hopefully we'll stay.
If you get a chance, look out that window behind you. See if my buddy Forrest, the security parking lot attendant, will you look and see if he's out there? Because maybe he'll know where you should go for the party today.
Well, after spending time with him last night, I'm pretty sure he won't know.
Okay. Right.
So yeah. I went, instead of sitting in my seat, I sat in the back row. Like I just like to be away and out of, and I knew who was sitting next to me, but I waited. He started to talk to me, and then he goes, "How good of a videographer are you?" And I said, "Well, I'm getting better. I'm doing it all, mostly by myself now." He goes, "Yeah, because they've asked me to do this clip," and he shows me his iPhone. And I go, "Well, I'm pretty sure I know how to push the start button."
Okay.
I mean, what else do there's not a whole lot when you're shooting a video on your phone, right?
Right.
You hold it up, you make them look good. So we shot a couple of him talking about something that they're doing, I believe, at the PI in China.
Oh, wow.
And he's a vice president here now.
Whoa.
How about that?
Wow.
How about that?
Wow. Congrats, Forrest Griffin.
I asked him, "Have you seen the show? It's a show that you would fail miserably at, but it's like the SEAL team training,
Yeah.
with all the celebs, and they
Uh,
all act like entitled babies, or at least some of them do.
yeah.
The one guy who's making it difficult for me to watch the show, just so you know, that Smollett guy. He's like, they're not going to come disrespect me. Dude, have you ever known anything about the military? That's what they do. And they want to see how you handle it. And if you handle it like you're going to handle it, it's not going to go well for you. So I asked Forrest, he showed me how him and Stephen Bonner once went and shot these guns and all this stuff back in the day. So I brought up the show and I asked him, would you ever be interested in going on it? Because, I'd make some calls and I can't get myself on it, but I can get other people on it. He's like, there's not a chance.
Really?
My bad knees, my bad back,
Yeah.
my bad this, my bad bat. But for the right money, I'll fight somebody.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about that, because the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, went on TV yesterday and he talked about that very issue, that the military are fat, that he doesn't care what position or rank you have and what branch you're in. You must now pass 2 physical PT tests a year. They've got to be capable and conditioned, but the reality of it is most of the military are not. A lot of people aren't capable. And look, we have a solution at Freedom. We can actually make a difference. We can make these warriors, these veterans, these active military capable without compression. Look, they're running in the wrong footwear.
All right,
They're,
hold on.
hold on, finish.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
First of all, I'm going to disagree with him on a few things.
Okay.
Not every military person needs to be in top physical shape. Not every military person needs to be in great shape.
Okay.
The military that sit at a desk, that work the computers, Alex, a former producer of the show, he used to fly the drones, from a desk in San Diego. So to say that you have to run X amount or run fast, or I didn't need to be in great shape to do my job as an operations specialist, which tracked ships, planes, subs. I did have the button to that very important box that was on the ship as well. I mean, I could have been fat then. I wasn't.
But you're looking at it the wrong way, though.
No.
Like you're thinking of it as actually needing physical capability in hand-to-hand combat if enlisted or engaged in wartime. But the reality of it is, sitting behind a desk after you're done serving in this country and our freedoms, most people are going to end up with bad posture, too much fat stores. Like they're going to end up in the medical system, either pain medications.
And that's different from anything else.
No, it's not. But
So
we can make our military more capable without any of those risks. Like after you're done serving, I don't want our military ending up at a lodge drinking, hiding behind pain medications, having surgeries, decreased quality of life. I want our military to be more capable than when they came in. And Freedom does that. And so I will give up. Here's my promise to you, Randy.
I want to give up freedom of talking about freedom.
I will give up my personal freedom of my long hair and my beardo, as Pete Hegseth said on TV. I will give up my personal freedoms to bring freedom to every military base, to create the protocols, the nutrition program, to do what I did with the pizza diet so that military members can keep their jobs, keep their fitness, and be compliant.
Keep your hair.
Then we'll both be active military. Well, I guess I'll be active. You'll still be a veteran.
You wouldn't be active.
I mean, if I join the military to lead this freedom movement,
not at all. You would still never be considered military. You would be an independent contractor.
Okay.
You would be possibly, which you won't be, but if you ever finagled your way in, you would be a military contractor that is not being in the military and that's not being a veteran.
Well, tomorrow at dinner, the lawyer for Pete Hegseth is sitting down with my number one client, a DC lawyer, high whistleblower, who created legislation on both sides of the aisle. And I may just get that chance to bring freedom to our men and women of service.
You want to wager something on it?
Yeah. What do you want to bet?
What do you want to bet? What do you want to lose?
I mean, you name it. Like, what's the bet? What's the bet? That I won't get freedom in the military bases?
Correct.
Oh, it's coming.
Correct.
It's coming because look, we
All right,
know
let's
that.
move on. Let's move on. Let's talk about other stuff.
Okay,
Um,
talk about
Major League
heart
Baseball. Major League Baseball. Did you watch any of that?
baseball, America's pastime.
It is past, and it is time.
It, the St. Pete Rays are no longer St. Pete Rays.
Well, that's not true yet.
Okay, well, it's already finished. The deal's been signed, so it's already completed.
What
The,
deal are you
the,
talking about?
the team was sold and new ownership is in place.
Right. Well, that doesn't change the Tampa Bay Rays to the Tampa Rays or the St. Pete Rays.
They're still going to be the Tampa Bay Rays.
No, what I'm saying is the team has officially been sold. You're trying to get my blood boiling and my stress level back up
Oh,
about them moving to Tampa, which possibly could happen as far as I'm concerned. Go. I'd rather them move out of Tampa Bay, to be blatantly honest with you, because I'm tired of the stress, not just me personally, but in our community, Tampa and St. Pete, about the continuing arguing and bickering, and who cares? You know, all those tampons that said, move the team to Tampa, we'll support them. Yet they couldn't even sell out a minor league stadium at George Steinbrenner.
well, it's outside
So,
and it's hot
so,
and
so,
it rains a lot here.
so. See,
And
it's easy to complain, and then
I'm trying to make excuses. I can't. I just look.
and that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, well, I don't want to go to St. Pete because of traffic. Then you really don't want to go. I would support them, but no buts. You either support them or you don't.
Yeah,
I know it's hot out there. Guess what? That's the stadium. But, you know, it's funny. Everybody wants a new stadium in Tampa, but nobody wants to pay for it.
for sure. No, but I think the problem goes back to this. There's too much spring training baseball. There's too many clubs nearby, and you can get your baseball fix at different times of the year for a much cheaper price, and you have a more intimate experience. You actually get a chance to meet the players and go down after the game is over, and so it feels more like the old school nostalgia of baseball. But when the season starts and they're traveling half the year, and and then the overpriced parking, the overpriced beer, the overpriced hot dogs, and it's so expensive to go. A family of four to go to a Major League Baseball game, a cut sets you back $500. I mean,
Again,
crazy.
let's don't pigeonhole it and say Major League Baseball. I was walking through Excalibur last night, the least expensive property. I was going to say a different word where your trash goes. As I was walking by, somebody went to get a soft drink, and they asked how much was it. $8.
Oof.
I remember when I went to Royal Rumble,
Jeez.
and I went and I bought a soda. It was like 10 or 12.
Wow.
I mean, what I don't understand is how come it's okay to gouge sometimes, but it's not okay to gouge other times? You should either be allowed to gouge, or let's be honest, at some point, a $10 or $15 beer, a 10 or in the case of the
Well,
soda, in the case
gal?
hold on, in the case of the soda, a 6-pack of 6, that's called a 6-pack, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, whatever, you can get for $3.99. Yet you go to one anywhere, it's $6 or $8 for one. That's
And the,
huge
ir-
profit.
and the irony is that if you drink that 6-pack, you won't have a 6-pack. Like you can't, you're not gonna get a 6-pack by drinking a 6-pack. But like distilled water is $1.50 a gallon, yet that's the healthiest water source out there. And the alkaline ones are supposed to be healthier, charging $7 for a gallon of water.
Well, take it even one step further. You know, the healthy water is $4, yet the soda is $2.99.
Yeah. And it's not even healthy because they messed it all up when they added sodium and potassium and a bunch of crap. They changed the biochemistry of it.
For sure. All
So,
right, we went over. Let's try to stay on point. Let's go hit a quick break. At the bottom of the hour, Mike Stracco will be out at BKFC this weekend, and I'm going to let him talk about it. I won't talk much about it because it's not right to be at another facility and talk about it, but we will have Mike on here momentarily. Let's hit a break. This is Knockout Radio.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Reggie Bush, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Rhino Cards, located at 406 11th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, is your one-stop card collection facility, specializing in all sports, Pokemon, Star Wars, and of course, Knockout Radio's favorite, the UFC cards. If you're looking to purchase, sell, or trade, then Rhino Cards is the place for you. Details are coming on some very awesome UFC card giveaways, thanks to Rhino Cards as well. That's Rhino Cards, conveniently located in St. Petersburg, on 4th Street and 11th Avenue North. Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds, from the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile. Every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
You want to have a drink? Where do you go?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it?
That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered,
for the guests.
faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
This is Carlton Fisk, talking sports with Randy Harris. What do you guys listen for? You crazy or goofy or something?
All right, we are back. I'm back, coming to you live from the UFC Apex here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Matt in the dungeon. Where are you this week?
I'm home, man. Like, being home is the best place to be. Home of the brave. Land of the free.
Land of the what?
Land of the free.
Oh, well, you cut out. You know, we lost one of our guests today. His fight got canceled. First he had a change of opponent, and then I saw late last night that Adaba, I'm not even going to attempt it. That fight's off. How that's awful. And I know that people are going to say, well, is he still getting paid? And I don't know the answer to that. But when you're an athlete, it's different. And Alex Kapp and I talked about this exact thing, that, you know, when you're an athlete, you know, you want to fight, you want to play. You know, us non-athletes that aren't in that kind of biz, you know, I'm like, take the money and who cares? But no, this guy trained for how many months for this fight? We'll talk more about that, but let's go get an update from our New Jersey correspondent, Mike Stratka.
Hey, Randy, how you doing?
All right, how are you? So I understand you got some things changed, so you're going to get to go to the big BKFC this weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I really am. I feel like this Frankie fight's going to be kind of look like Chad Mendez versus Eddie Alvarez. You know what I mean? When they had a really good back and forth fight, it was very competitive, and I expect the same from Frankie and Jimmy. You know, like I said last time I talked to you, I saw both those guys spar together when Frankie was getting ready for Jose Aldo, and it was really competitive. Jimmy was younger back then; he was just getting into the UFC, and Frankie was always, you know, the legend that he is. So it was different, obviously, sparring. And Jimmy wasn't going all out; he was just there to help Frankie. But Frankie did look a lot bigger than Jimmy, believe it or not. You never really hear anybody say Frankie looks bigger than anybody, but he does look bigger than Jimmy. And I think this is a competitive fight, and I think it's safe for both guys too. You know, Frankie coming off 3 losses in the UFC to end his career. You know, everybody was concerned about it. You know, I know his family pretty well, and you know, Renee wasn't all that happy. His wife Renee wasn't all that happy. His daughter wasn't too happy about it. His sons get it. His sons are, you know, good. That's my dad. You know what I mean? They want to see his dad go in there and still kick butt. And you know, I like Frankie. I like Jimmy. I think Frankie's going to win this fight. I really do. And I think it's good for BKFC as well. You know, on a night where Mike Perry's fighting Jeremy Stevens, man, that's going to be a heck of a fight too. And I honestly think this is going to be Perry's biggest test. I know he's fought some really good guys, and Luke Rockhold, and but you know, Stevens is a different breed of power, man. And I think he's underrated. You know, when he had that moment with Conor McGregor, and McGregor said, "Who the f is this guy?" and everybody laughed. You know, Jeremy wasn't joking. He does hit hard, and he has knocked out a lot of people. And I think Mike Perry's gonna, you know, we all know Mike Perry's tough as you know what, and he's got a great chin, but it'll be tested on Saturday night.
I'm going to ask Matt's question, and he can come up with something different. He normally asks, and he asked me when we first started, what's the vibe, you know, here in Las Vegas as we get ready for UFC 320 and everything that's going on here? What's the vibe there? Or is it too early?
No, it's been exciting for a month. I mean, ever since Frankie announced it, you know, I'm living in Toms River, New Jersey now, which is where I went to high school, and also that's Frankie's hometown. And everywhere I go, anybody who recognizes me from MMA, they're like, "Oh, what do you think about Frankie? What do you think about Frankie?" I mean, everywhere I go. So it's pretty interesting how the town has really rallied around him. In fact, I think I told you last week we had Misha Tate coming in for an appearance, and all the people that were coming to see Misha bought tickets to see Frankie fight, so we had to postpone Misha Tate because everybody's going to see Frankie. So it is exciting, and people are excited about it. You know, fame is weird. You know, fame is fleeting, as we all know. But I think everybody loves to see, you know, one of their favorite stars come back and make a comeback. It happens in Hollywood. We saw Robert Downey Jr., you know, what happened to him and his drug problems, and went to jail for crying out loud. And then he made his comeback with Chaplin and won an Oscar, and he hasn't looked back since. You know, Iron Man is one of the greatest franchises in Hollywood. So people always love a good comeback story. Not that Frankie needed a comeback story. You know, he's got his own gym here where it's packed. I mean, every other martial arts school is empty because they all left for Frankie's school as soon as he opened. He just celebrated a year open last Saturday, which was pretty. I mean, I went over there just to say hello to him, and there were hundreds of people there, hundreds. So Frankie's doing really well, and I don't think he needs to fight, but man, you should hear the rumors about what he's getting paid for this fight. You know, it's anywhere between $250 and $1 million, and I don't know, man. I don't know how much he's making. I know he told me that the payday was really good, but I mean, some people that are close to him tell me it's close to $1 million. Which, if that's true, more hats off to David Feldman, because that's incredible that BKFC can pay that kind of money.
Go ahead, Matt. Wake up.
I'm good, man. I'm just going to say the legendary Mike Straka looks taller. Like, I like the hairdo. It's looking good, man.
Well, it's still Straka, Matt. It's never been
Okay.
Straka.
Damn
Never
it.
been Straka. It's
I
amazing.
always like to add a T to your name.
Yeah, you like to do that. Well,
it's a cross. It's just a cross.
Speaking of T, you got any testosterone? I need some TRT, I think. I went training the other day, man. It was rough.
You just got to start sprints, like interval sprints. That'll boost your testosterone naturally.
It wasn't as bad as I'm making an announcement. It was the first time I was kicking full power since I broke my ankle. So it's been I was a little hesitant, and I think that the nerves and the stress took a little bit of my cardio out of me too.
I was surprised Matt didn't say you need more freedom in your life.
Well, you know, we could all use a little freedom with a 3. I like how you did that, Matt. Nobody ever does that.
Yeah, thanks.
Nobody's ever done that before.
Ever.
I see what you did there with the 3.
Yeah, it's stronger in 3s. You're like a triangle. It's the strongest geometric shape. Mike Straka, Randy Harrison, and me.
Mike, what are your thoughts about this weekend's UFC 320? 2 titles on the line. Great card. What's your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are I really haven't been paying attention, to be honest with you. I've been really super busy. And I know there's a fight this weekend, obviously. But I haven't really followed, you know, any of the storylines. You know, I hate to be a morbid person, but since Tommy died, Tommy Gerbasi, the UFC editorial director, died suddenly a few weeks ago, and it's kind of put me in a really down mood, man. Tommy was a great guy. I got a lot of UFC memories with Tommy, man, a lot. You know, we go back way back to like 2000, covering press events when he was young. We were both young. There's a picture of he and I up, I think it was UFC 33, covering a press conference in a like some little steakhouse. I think it was Gallagher's Steakhouse in New York City. This is before.
Oh, just some little steakhouse. Gallagher's is not some little steakhouse. Gallagher's is towards the top.
It's a little steakhouse. It's well known, but it's still little. There's only like 14 tables in the whole place.
All right, let me ask you a question. Let me interrupt. And Matt, I'm even going to let you answer this as well. And I'm being serious, and I don't mean to be morbid. When you pass away, and when I say you, both of you, and I'll even answer it myself, when I pass away, do you want people to mourn nonstop, or do you want them to move on? You know, we all need to move on. We've all lost people. I know what you're going through with Tom, and I knew him as well, not as well as you did, or Tommy, you know, from Billboard Mats. They wouldn't want us, you know, they would want us to continue, you know, remember them. You know, my grandson who never took a breath, I remember him every day, but I need to go on to keep his name alive, to keep everything alive. So I understand being down, but you got to get out of it.
Well, I agree 100%. And,
okay.
You know, it depends on the person. You know, my father wouldn't want me grieving him forever. And I don't think Tommy would either. But there are certain people, you know, my girlfriend died in a car accident when I was 18 years old. I'm still not over it. I'll be 56 next Friday.
I'm not saying, you know, get over it. You know, when we've all lost, you know, you don't get over it, but you have to keep living your life, because sooner than later, and it was could have been much sooner for me 2 weeks ago. You can't dwell on the past. You know, I know that I told both of you guys something that I recently found out about, something that involved all of us. And at this point, you got to let all that stuff go. And you got to live life. You got to enjoy life and do what makes, you know, you happy.
I have a pro tip. So I've already mourned both of you guys already. Like in my heart, you guys are already both dead. And so that way, when it actually does come, I'll be prepared and no big deal.
Now, I didn't say that it shouldn't be a big deal, you fool.
Sometimes I marvel that you get through the day, Matt. Things that come out of your mouth. But, you know, it's interesting you say that. And to juxtapose my father for a second, you know, my father had Alzheimer's, and, you know, to me, he died a year before he died.
Right.
You know, so when he died, I was more relieved for him than I was upset for me. So, you know, I do get what you're saying. You know, kind of mentally prepare for somebody's death. However, your analogy wasn't very good there, man.
No, but look, but a lot of times, unfortunately, when someone dies, the person that dies, but also the people that love them die, and then they turn to addiction or to drugs, or they hide or numb the pain, and they end up losing their life, not physically, but they lose their purpose or their drive or their joy or their happiness. So you have to safeguard yourself and love unconditionally, but also be prepared to guard yourself as well if tragedy strikes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Hey, Randy, what are your thoughts on UFC this weekend?
I'm intrigued. You know, the main event, Alex Pereira. I think it's going to be a tough fight for him. I know what the inside inners would never say publicly, and that's they need him to win that fight.
Yeah, you know, I've always been curious, and you're closer to it than I am now. But Pereira sort of got on that hype train, and that hype train continues to roll really fast. And I don't know if it's the Glover Teixeira camp, Hackelman being over there as well. That there's so much hype behind him.
It's the persona. It's the persona. It's his personality. You know, how many fighters, whether they're champions or not, you know that Chama thing that everybody jumped on. You know, they don't even know what it means. They just like that he said it, and that's how you get a fan base. And
I mean, to be honest with you, I see more Alex Pereira videos with Nina Drama than I do him fighting.
No doubt. Yeah, that's what he's doing nowadays.
What are either one of your thoughts on that co-main event? Because, if you didn't know about Merab before, you certainly do now. And some people claim that he's a boring fighter as well. And my thing is, that's the fight game. What's boring? What is a boring fighter? A guy that takes you to the ground? Let's be honest. In my opinion, GSP was a boring fighter. Okay? But he won, and he was a winner. And people love him. But when they don't like somebody, then he becomes a boring fighter. Matt Hughes, boring fighter. Mark Coleman, boring fighter.
There's a reason why the NCAA champion wrestling, the number one match is never really televised. It is nowadays because there's 150 different channels. But back when wrestling was kind of obscure, collegiate wrestling, you never saw the nationals on TV because it's boring. Just because a fight is boring to the layperson doesn't make it boring to the people that are in the sport.
For sure.
I don't think Morab's a boring fighter either, but I do understand why people think he's boring.
Right. Well, right. And that's what I was implying. We've been to fights, we do jiu-jitsu, blah, blah. It goes to the ground. There's some great grappling. The BJJ tournament, tomorrow. I can't wait. A lot of fans, they hate the ground game. Then you're not an MMA fan. Then you're a kickboxing fan. You're a boxing fan.
But we don't have kickboxing. How many times has it been tried? Remember PKA with Superfoot Wallace? I think Benny the Jet was in there for a while. Chuck Norris. It didn't really work that well. And I think the pads hurt kickboxing when it came up in the 70s and 80s. Scott Coker was an original promoter of PKA, Professional Kickboxing Association. Always surprised me when he told me that. I was like, wow, you have been around for a long time. Anyhow, I just think pads hurt the professional fight game. I mean, obviously boxers wear pads and UFC guys wear 4-ounce gloves, but still, when you have full pads, full body pads, it's hard for the fan to see. How many times have you been, I can kick somebody's cigarette out of their mouth, and if I throw a kick at somebody's head, one of my friends, when I'm messing around and I don't hit them, they all go, oh, I would have blocked that. No, you wouldn't have blocked that, dude. I would have broken your nose, but I'm not going to break your nose to prove that I can. You're my friend. But my friends, they're so stupid like that. Oh, I would have blocked that. Okay, dude, you would have blocked it. But it's the same goes, with kickboxing. I think the pads ruined it. And of course, when it came to the kickboxing that came up with Alistair Overeem and all of those guys, it wasn't really televised in the U.S. as much as it was in Europe. So a lot of people missed out on that.
Anything, Matt?
I mean, I think the thing that makes the fights boring is the fighter's personality. We miss the colorful hair from the Sean O'Malley, and we miss the McGregor talk and the like the Tito and the Chuck Liddell Mohawks. Like Merab and all these guys he's coming over. They look just like anyone else. They don't do anything flashy outside of the fight. They don't really have personality, so it's hard to get a fan base to really get excited about the fight because if you take those same fight sequences and punches and victories that any of those superstars had and you put them on a different body, they're not memorable.
I do have a bone of contention to pick with you, Randy. I don't think, in my opinion, that GSP was a boring fighter. I do think there were levels or eras of George St. Pierre where he was an exciting fighter. And then when he became champion, he sort of fought not to lose instead of fighting to win. And I think that's where he became boring. But he still won those fights, like you said. But when you're a champion, the opportunities and the money is so much different than when you're number one contender. You know that as well as anybody.
Absolutely.
And if I'm GSP, I want to keep that belt no matter what.
Absolutely.
That means that I'm going to be born against Josh Koscheck and throw a jab for 25 minutes straight. That's what I'm going to do.
And I'm not saying that it's wrong. And I'm not saying I necessarily agree with it. I'm just telling you what, as you know, fans think when a fight goes to the ground, it's boring. Even if it was Mark Coleman doing ground and pound.
You said that you thought that George St. Pierre was a boring fighter.
Right. No. I'm comparing that to what people are saying is exciting. So yes, and I think anytime he goes to the ground and you don't do anything for 3 minutes, for 3.5 minutes, yes, it is boring. And you're correct. GSP had evolved, had changed. And it's all about whether you like it or not, whether Dana likes it or not, whether Scott Coker or Dave Feldman, it's about winning.
Yeah.
You know, I tell this story all the time. My good friend George Gagel, he would go out and fight. I would be in the back to get stuff for the Ryan Bennett Memorial Fund, and he would apologize to me because he just lost. And I'm like, George, you're a 412-degree black belt in jiu-jitsu. Why are you not doing it? He goes, because I want to be entertaining. I want to beat them at their best. So then keep losing. Do what you do best. Take them to the ground. Be boring. Be, whatever it needs to be to get that bonus, to get money for your family. It's about winning.
Yeah. I mean, and if you think about the guys who were exciting, talk about Leonard Garcia, Cowboy Cerrone, guys like that.
Clay Guida.
Yeah. Their careers were maybe shortened by the amount of damage they took. Not so much Clay, but I mean, Leonard Garcia, for one, like that guy, every time he went out to fight, it was like live or die, man. And who was the other Mexican fighter? No, he was from Honduras. Really good looking guy. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. He was the first MMA fighter on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Roger Huerta.
Huerta, yeah. He went out there and he gave it his all, and he sort of like disappeared into the sunset. Whereas George had a long career.
Right.
John Jones has a long career. Anderson Silva had a long, but Anderson was never boring. He was a little weird sometimes, but he was never boring.
Weirdness that cost him, the title. All right, I know we went over, so let's at least run this one now, and then we'll probably run to the top of the hour. So let's go hit a quick break. I'm coming to you live from the UFC Apex here in Las Vegas. Mike is in New Jersey getting ready to cover that event this weekend. Matt's in a dungeon, soon to be kicked out of his house. We'll be right back.
This is Ray Quinn. You're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
Saturday, October 4th, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship debuts at the Prudential Center in Newark. In the main event, it's an all-out war when the reigning king of violence, Platinum Mike Perry, defends his title against a warrior ready to bring the brutality, Jeremy Lil Heathen Stevens. In the co-main event, New Jersey boys collide as Frankie the Answer Edgar fights Jimmy El Terra Rivera. Plus, the first ever Queen of Violence will be decided when bad blood boils over as Christine Misfit Faria throws down with Jessica the Black Widow Borga. Avoid the sellout. Get your tickets now at bkfc.com.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
You want to have a drink? Where do you go?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it?
That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
This is Mike Evans with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we're back. A subject I do want to bring up with at least one of you, and that would be you, Mike, because Matt sure didn't watch it, doesn't know about it, and probably won't have an opinion on it either. Did you see or read about the Neil Magny fight?
Nope, neither.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. So now both of you have no clue, didn't know. So I guess what happened was the ref stopped the fight close to the end of the round. He thought Neil Magny was out. Then when he realized Neil Magny was not out, he started the fight back up. Now, when he stopped it, Neil Magny lost. Then when he restarted it, Neil Magny won. Thoughts? No contest? I know that they're appealing.
It's got to be a no contest.
Yeah. Right.
But it won't be. I mean, it happened to UFC once. I forget who it was. Remember, he looked at, I think it was Herb Dean. He looked at Herb. He said, "I'm not out, Herb." And Herb was like, "Oh."
That was Robbie Lawler.
Yeah, Robbie Lawler, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be no contest for sure.
But that wasn't reversed, and that wasn't restarted back up. And Robbie said something to him, and then he handled it like a professional.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion,
he said, "I love you, Herb," but that was wrong. Yeah.
In my personal opinion, I think once the fight stopped,
it stopped.
It's done. It's over.
He had him in a submission. Now, yes, it was close to the end of the round, but he had him in a submission hold. It's not like they just stopped and they stared at each other. I mean, to me, you reverse it back to when it was stopped, but I know that they're just hoping for the no contest.
And Randy, you've got an athletic commissioner who's on site usually for these fights. And, the referee doesn't have to be the end all be all. Why wouldn't the athletic commissioner come out and say, okay, here's what happened. The ref stopped the fight. Therefore you lost. Sorry. That's how it is. You lost the fight. It's over. Whether the ref was wrong, that's what happens. I mean, if a referee gets in a way at an NFL game and the guy falls down, the player falls down because he ran into the referee, he's down. That's part of the game. They don't go and challenge it. They don't go and say, "Oh, we lost the game because our quarterback ran into the referee." So there's got to be an athletic commissioner who comes out and says, "I'm the athletic commissioner. Here's what I rule," and that's it. Take it or leave it.
I mean, how many fights have been ended in controversy because of the fights were stopped early, the ref made a poor choice or didn't see, from the right angle. I mean, it's notorious. I mean, it's all often.
Less fights that end in controversy because of bad judging. So it's either bad judging, bad refing, good judging. It's part of the game, and it's just part of the game. And I think Neil should be able to protest that.
Well, no, Neil got the win. Neil got the win.
Well, yeah, I think the other guy should be able, whoever should be able to protest it because, if Neil was out, he was out, and whether if the referee thought he was out, then he was out. If a referee thinks you won the fight, won a race, and then the replay shows that you didn't. I mean, if the replay is part of the rules, then the replay will make it happen. Maybe they need to do that. Maybe they need to go to the replay and say, okay, they've got to be different rules instated.
Or in NASCAR, it's or in the Kentucky Derby, it's declared and then they review it before they make it an official announcement.
But they wouldn't rerun the race. Here's a case of a submission hold is in place. It was far enough in that the referee thought either he tapped or, he was out or whatever. I just think you're opening up cans of worms. And I know that you can go to replay and it was this, but normally the replay was it intentional? Was it non-intentional? Which to me is bullcrap as well. You headbutt somebody. It doesn't matter if it was on accident or on purpose. It caused the damage to change the fight.
But awarding the victory in the middle of the octagon and declaring it, I think is a step too far. In those situations where they're controversial, they should slow it down and let the commissioner get involved. And then they make a ruling before anyone's celebrated or announced, because then it's harder to reverse.
Well, listen, I mean, you talk about headbutts. There's no question in my mind, going back to boxing, Randy, where Evander Holyfield was headbutting Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson just bit his ear. You're going to headbutt me, I'm going to bite your ear off. And that's as simple as that. I mean, I don't know what kind of point I'm trying to make with that.
Did Mike Tyson ever say that it tasted like chicken?
I don't think so.
No.
No, he did create his own gummy edible that was in the shape of an ear, though, which is legendary. I mean, that's more legendary than Mike Straka.
No,
or Mike Straka.
Matt, did you get the fight card? to run down some of those names with the legend in New Jersey?
Yeah, the legend.
Or did you blow it off?
No,
More
I
like
didn't.
I'm a legendary pizza man now. Like that's what I do all the time.
Dude, I want to come over there and throw some pies with you.
Dude, if you come up to New Jersey, you're gonna watch me make pies. You're not even allowed behind the line, bro.
What are you talking about? I made a pizza in the oldest pizzeria in the world in Naples, Italy,
Got
at
nothing to
Pizza
do with that.
Antica.
What
Bro,
does one have to do with the other? I wouldn't
because
let you do
I'm the king of that industry too. Like, how can you not let me make a pizza with you?
because it's my place and you are not allowed to make pizza.
It's Mike's freedom to tell you no.
That's right. That is right. Oh, I made pizza in the oldest pizzeria in Naples, Italy. Like that's gonna make a difference to me. Guess what?
It's legendary. That's legendary. Actually, the slogan was your last free meal because you had 8 days to pay your tab, and if you died during the war or during the harsh winter or conditions, then your last meal on Earth was free.
Let's get more important stuff. Mike, what's the feeling up there with this Yankee Red Sox rivalry continuing into the playoffs?
I'll tell you, Yankees fans are very upset today. I mean, they're upset with Aaron Boone for taking out the pitcher with only 81 pitches, I think, during the game. And Aaron Boone said that he liked the matchup with the next pitcher, and fans aren't buying it. It's just it's unfortunate, I think the Yankees had that game wrapped up, and they lost it after the pitching change.
No, they had a chance. They had bases loaded in the ninth. Like, just Chapman came in and just shut it down. I mean, that guy's a beast. So, he just got outplayed. I mean, that's why they play the game. But yeah, I mean, that's what makes baseball relevant is that Boston Yankees rivalry. Like, without that rivalry, baseball's dead.
The other playoff game, I don't know if you guys saw it. The Cleveland, what are they called?
Guardians.
Commanders? Guardians. The Cleveland Guardians. You change names that, history. They had the tying run on third with no outs, I think, in the ninth inning and couldn't score him. How do you not score a guy from third? The tying run, winning run, losing run, it don't matter. No outs. Somebody can't hit the ball to the right side. Somebody can't hit a fly ball.
What happened to the small ball game? How come nobody bunted?
It's not exciting. It's boring. It's like jiu-jitsu and ground game.
Yep. Exactly right.
We once, when I played on a little league team or whatever, our cleanup hitter came up, and my dad gave him the bunt signal, and he refused. And his parents lost their mind. My dad kicked him off the team.
Wow.
We don't need you. This is a team game. We needed you to move the runner over. Blah 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 blah. I mean, it stems really from as how you're taught little, and then you watch these big leaguers who refused to do. The guy who refused to play first base. So they got rid of him. First he was a first baseman, then an outfielder. You know what? You do what you do. Alex Kappa told me yesterday, I'll do whatever the Raiders want me to do. They want me to start, I'll start. They want me to back up, I'll back up. They want me to scout team, I'll scout team. I do what I'm told.
Did you see this? I'm not sure who said it, but I just read an article. One of the former UFC or number one contender UFC fighter mentioned Frankie should be on steroids, and he hopes he is on steroids because he hasn't been tested. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Well, tell us about it. What was it?
Somebody was asking, I think it was on MMA fighting, and one of the reporters asked, a UFC contender, what do you think about Frankie fighting? He goes, well, Frankie should be on PEDs. If he's not, then he's dumb. He should be on PEDs and get rid of those nagging injuries and come back and win this fight. And then he mentioned Dustin Poirier says he's going to do it now that he's retired. I just thought it was an odd thing for a professional fighter to say.
About somebody else.
Yeah, but what's the difference between peptides, SARMs, testosterone, anabolic steroids? Like anything that anything you take that enhances performance is cheating. Sodium bicarbonate was banned by WADA as enhancing drug because it prevents lactic acid from building up, so you can perform at higher levels for longer duration. So, I mean, everything's an enhancement.
Everything is, yeah.
Everything.
I mean, WADA, the people that let Lance Armstrong get away with blood doping for years. Yeah, they're the authority. Please.
That's Matt's hero.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a jersey right there. Look, shout out Lance.
You know, there's a cliche in professional sports: if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
True.
And it is true. You know, everybody's looking for that edge, no matter what
But,
it
but
is.
what made Lance a cheater was his red blood cell count from the EPO effect of his kidneys. Like that, the transfusion was a bigger cheat than any of the steroids or anabolics or whatever he was doing. Like it's the production of red blood cells. That's what my Freedom device does. The vertical gym creates red blood cells. Using my device in a fight camp should be considered a performance enhancing drug because it will absolutely give a fighter a competitive advantage over their opponent.
Sure.
And if this is the military, it will give us advantage over every other nation trying to take our freedom.
Well, listen, Pete Hegseth just came out. The Secretary of War came out and said that he doesn't want to see fat people in uniform, and he's instituted a rule now. You've got to be in shape to be in the military.
Which I disagree with.
Maybe you should call Pete Hegseth and see if you can get the freedom.
I have a meeting tomorrow. With Natalie, my number one client. She's meeting with his lawyer to discuss bringing the Freedom device to bases to help with compression, to prepare our military physically without injury and percussion or compression.
That's your wheelhouse right there, Matt.
Yes, sir.
That's where the freedom. And by the way, by renaming it Freedom, you just bought right into the U.S. military, brother.
Yes, sir.
I'll call Mr. Trump himself.
Okay.
Well, I'll talk to Mr. Trump and I'll tell him, please don't. Our military doesn't need Matt running around like a wild man.
I just want to serve our nation.
I will say something about Matt. Matt, when I've seen him with high school kids in a program, a sports program, and Matt's really inspirational when he speaks to people. And I'll give you that, Matt. I really will. I was really impressed when you made that speech to those kids, and I think every one of those kids really took to heart. I mean, they all ran up to you after your speech and shook your hand. So that tells it all. So I will say Matt might be a pretty good motivator when it comes to military people getting in shape.
Well, it's about look, in history, if you don't learn from it, you're often doomed to repeat it. And what we know about boot camp is that it's the wrong footwear. It's not a natural posture. There's too much compression. Putting 70 pounds of compressive gear on your back and running for duration events is not a smart move because most of these men and women will never see hand-to-hand combat. But yet the rest of their life after their service, they have to be humans and they have to deal with inflammation and compression and surgeries and the likelihood of becoming a dependent on opiates and going to the VFWs and the lodges and just drinking their life away. Like, let's make these places a place of healing. Let's make people, men and women who join our military, more capable than when they entered it to enter the private sector, so they're a healthier version of themselves. And that's what we provide. That's what I can do. And I'm a beardo. I got expressionism. I got freedom to grow my hair out and a beard. But due to the Secretary of War, I will give back my liberty, my freedoms to serve our military. I will cut my hair, shave my beard.
I can't get you to understand you won't be part of the military.
But I'll conform to the standard that they set to be a leader in it. And even though biologically I've aged out, capability-wise, I can still join based on the physical requirements today. I can pass both PT tests per year at 50 years old because of the Freedom device.
I don't think you would have a rat's chance in hell of completing boot camp.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
I think he will.
Zero chance. They would break him. They would break him by day 3, and he would be like those guys that are on the TV show. You can't talk to me that way.
I'm the head trainer.
You're disrespecting me.
I don't think so. I disagree with that. But I want to ask you, Randy. You said you disagree with Hegseth's order about you don't want to see fat people in uniform. Why do you disagree with that?
We're going to continue talking as we hit this top of the hour break because we are still live on the YouTube. And I don't know when we'll go to break, but we're going to keep talking. Matt, I know you know how to pull down, the commercial that'll be on the YouTube. Here's my opinion on that. I didn't need to be in shape. I was, I didn't need to be in shape to be an operations specialist on a military vessel. Okay, I watched the radars. I did everything that we needed to do. Okay. I'm not saying to be, 300 pounds, but I don't think I could have run a 7-minute mile or a 15-minute mile, and it wouldn't have changed what I needed to do in CIC. I mean, if you want to talk about soldiers, boots on the ground, that kind of stuff, who are carrying these 70 pounds, the only time, where'd you go? Oh, there you go. The only time I carried, I didn't even carry the weapons when they came on. Those things probably weighed more than 70 pounds. I just don't think it needs to go to that extent for everyone in the military. I understand being in shape, but you don't have to be, a top-notch, marathon runner. But that's just my opinion.
Well, one thing I did disagree with. He said that all females need to meet the same standards as males, and we all know that that's physically not possible.
Correct.
But whatever. I just have to let you guys know on a totally different subject. I'm in the most depressing place in the world right now.
Matt's house?
And it's not a hospital.
You're at the mall?
I'm in a mall, exactly.
Yeah.
And there are literally, I can count the amount of people in this mall on one hand. I mean, and I'll give you the perfect example why. One of my friends told me, it's because people don't have money to spend. No. I ordered a lamp on Amazon last night at 11 p.m. At 8:30 a.m., it was at my door. That's why I don't go to the mall anymore.
I went to Home Depot to buy some batteries for something, and then I happened to go on Amazon. I needed some equipment for today's broadcast, and I got it 50% cheaper at Amazon for the same battery. So, my wife's like, yes.
And you didn't have to leave your house.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
and they just launched Prime Air in Tampa today. So now Amazon is delivering by drone up to 5 pounds per delivery to your back door. So they can suspend it with a drone, drop it on a rope, the box lands, and it goes back. So now it's within an hour. If it's under 5 pounds, it's 1 hour delivery.
All right, good stuff. Thanks for checking in, Mike.
You know what, Mikey? The malls you'll start seeing will become places of healing, like gyms and fitness
Randy,
companies.
I'll talk to you later, Randy.
All right, Mike. Take care. That is our man, Mike Straka, who wanted no part of whatever you're promoting.
Yeah, that's what the malls are at Wesley Chapel. Go to the outlet mall, or not the outlet mall, but the Wiregrass Mall. It's all fitness companies. It's Punch Boxing, it's Row House, it's Hot Works, it's Orange Theory Fitness. The whole mall is geared towards healthy. The smoothie shops, the protein shops, like
the Hispanic Civil Rights Group, LULAC.
If you're targeting,
I was just seeing where we were on the news.
Yeah, the malls, the empty space, big square footage, and huge. What else are you going to put inside of a mall, Randy?
Play areas for children.
Yeah, but I mean, not if no one's going to the mall. There's no attraction to go by retail. What are you going to the mall for?
A paintball facility.
But anything that has to do with needing big space. Trampoline parks took over the old Kmart's. I mean, all the old Kmart's became
pickleball courts.
Well, that could be huge. I mean, that could be huge. Yeah.
Somebody just did that. I don't know what facility it was. Some big store, some big something, and they turned it into an entirely a pickleball.
15 in 2025 alone.
Yeah.
So
that's
Joe Pfeiffer coming up here momentarily. We're going to talk some fishing. I owe him a fishing trip.
Yeah.
He's just got to come to town. Did I tell you I went to my parents' house and some guy pulled up and I thought I was getting robbed? It was Captain Kelly.
Oh, really?
I'm like, who's pulling up in the driveway in a golf cart?
Parts. Tampa Bay's Tan Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Hello, everybody. This is Levante David, linebacker of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you're listening to the Knockout Radio.
All right, we are back. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. I'm getting everything set here. Joe Pfeiffer coming up here momentarily. And UFC 320 right around the corner. Power Slap right around the corner. The BJJ tournament tomorrow night. I can't wait for that. I really do enjoy it. It's boring for some. It's exciting for me. I enjoy it. Are you a BJJ guy? Do you watch it at all? I know you think that you can do it, even though I've never seen it.
Well, I do just enough. I just want to be capable if I need it. I just pray that I never have to use it because that means I'm defending my life or my family or people that I love. So you got to know enough to like survive, but I don't want to. Most of the time, you get injured before you ever need it, just like the military. Most of our military get injured in boot camp, but they never actually. Yeah, of course they do. Wearing out their knees. And listen, Dr. O'Mara, who was on both administrations,
it's not true at all.
It builds more visceral fat around the heart when you do duration events like boot camps. It's proven that it's not a healthy way to practice.
You're insane as usual.
I'm just telling you the facts. I'm not a doctor, but he is, and he served on both administrations, the Democrat and Republican.
All right,
and
enough
duration
about,
events.
Enough about you.
More visceral fat.
Let's welcome back to the show, Joe Pfeiffer. Joe, how are you? All right, not bad. I got to turn you on. I'm sorry, that was me. We still need to get you to Tampa Bay, so we got to get this out of the way. I know that we've talked again in Philadelphia, and we still need to get you there so we can get you out fishing.
Yeah, I know. I've been waiting to come out and see when I could get some fishing in, but unfortunately last summer I had to get the back surgery, so it wasn't really possible, even though I wanted to. But definitely, I've been waiting, man.
We'll definitely get it done.
This time, I'm going to get a number, and we're going to lock.
Yeah, because I gave it to you there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've talked to the two different locations, so we can either do it at Walt Disney World, so you can fish the lakes at Walt Disney World, or you can go deep sea fishing, shark fishing. Pretty much whatever you want to do. Cool.
I've never done
it. Just don't get seasick.
I got a pretty strong gut.
Okay, cool. Fight week. No comment. Talk about fight week. What's it like for you? You're seasoned vet now. Are they all the same? Do you change it up a little?
That sounds funny. The seasoned vet part, because I'm always.
Hey, Randy.
Yeah.
But before you go, Joe, and answer, unmute your mic. Your device is muted on Joe's computer. It says I can't. I said I can't unmute it.
All right.
So there we go.
There.
Can you guys hear?
There he is. Yeah, what's up, Joe?
The only thing with this is I can hear the echo of myself.
Yeah, that's why that's not supposed to be on. I'm new at doing this. I'm trying to get within the 2025s.
So leave it like that?
Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay. If I double talk myself, that's why. Yeah, but fight week is good. I got all my friends out here and people that I care about. And we're just doing it a little bit different this time. It's always different each time. There's always something you can improve on. But I feel good, man. I'm energized. Obviously I'm tired a little bit from the cut, but I'm excited to fight and I want to fight this guy.
Nerves ever come in?
Always, every fight. I think if you don't have nerves, you don't really care that much. So, and I love this and I care about it.
Tell me about your opponent, or does it? I always say this, or does it even matter?
No, I don't think it matters. He's a very skilled guy, good fighter, dangerous, knockout power, things like that. But I'm not really too worried about it.
I did forget. The second thing I wanted to say was happy belated birthday.
Yeah, thank you. 29. Last year, my 20s. I'm getting old.
Would you do anything special? I know it's only a couple of weeks ago, so you're still kind of.
Nah, I didn't do anything. My girl's family made it special for me. Got me some good food, things like that. But no, I trained twice that day and hung out at the house like a normal day, like any other day. Birthdays aren't that special when you're old.
Well, tell me about it. But believe me, I know that.
I feel like 18 and 50. That's it.
Really?
Those are the big ones.
50 after. Oh, you think are big ones? Okay.
Yeah.
Every other fight you've had a performance bonus. Do you know that? Are you aware of that? Do you block that out?
Nah.
It's time to get the bonus.
Yeah, I mean, listen, exactly. It's time to get the bonus. The last fight was more about sticking to the game plan. And I think the way that we game plan for him and him not really coming forward after the first round kind of just had me in this limbo of not going first. Looking back on that fight, I wish I had thrown a little bit more volume. I know I could have knocked him out. I obviously had the power to hurt him. So, but I don't really remember your question, but yeah, I'm here to get it. Yes, the bonus. Yes. Yeah, I'm here to floor this guy. I want to take this dude's fucking head off. So
he said trucking. He said trucking.
Sorry.
We're also on FCC, so I got to be careful. Do you collect anything? Do you collect your memorabilia? Do you collect other people's memorabilia?
Not really, no.
Is there anything you would want to collect?
Just all my gear from the fights. I wish they would stop taking a freaking piece of it every time I fight.
I think
that's about it.
I don't know if I should tell you this with so many people in the room, but I think I'm partially responsible for that.
Oh, really?
This is a true story.
Tell me.
So, God, it's been 10, 12 years ago. Ryan Bennett, who was one of the original media people, Ryan, myself, and maybe one or two other people, died in a tragic car accident. So Dana and Lorenzo Fertitta allowed me to go into the back, and fighters that knew Ryan, he owned MMA Weekly, and donated, some gear, jerseys, clothes. I sold Matt Serra's underwear from when he beat GSP, sold for $900. Yeah, there's some lunatics out there. And then when I know they saw that what the value of these things were, and this was still early in UFC. I think that's when it started being added.
Listen, I don't have a problem like donating my stuff. I just don't like when it's taken from what I actually wore in my fight.
Sure.
Like we only get to do this for so many years. I'd rather give that to a coach or somebody close to me that I love, because it's not like I actually know where it's going. I'm sure it's going whatever, but just make duplicates and let us sign it.
Well, you could do like when Cal Ripken broke the record for the most consecutive games, he wore 9 jerseys. Every inning he wore a different jersey. And in the 7th, which makes it an official game, he wore 3 jerseys at the same time.
Wow.
Now, which one do you decide? Which one's game used? Which one's the real valuable one? Or are they all kind of valuable?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the person, but each fight is the biggest fight. And, I'm proud to be here, and I'd like to hold on to as many memories as I can. So
the next big, I don't know about memory-wise, but is July 4th. Have you thought about getting on that card?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I need your advice because I'm going to go talk to Dana. I need to make sure I'm at that White House card.
Yeah.
So what do you
got the veteran hat? You deserve to be there.
Well, that and covering it longer than anybody in the world. Yeah. I just
100% you earned that. So if you don't get it, I would be disappointed. But yeah, I've thought about it, and smoking this Russian dude is going to be the way that I get myself the opportunity to ask for it. So I think I have a high potential of putting this guy flat out this weekend. And, I'm not saying that in an arrogant way to take away from his skills, but that's just what I believe. And I think I'm more prepared than I've ever been, especially mentally.
Go ahead, Matt.
So, Joe, go back to the, multiple voices in your head, fight psychology. Are you your own internal coach in the fight, or are you really tuned into your corner? Are you listening to your seconds and getting instruction from their perspective in that moment?
I mean, I think being mentally prepared and focused is entirely on you. And then when you're in the middle of the fight, it's just being open to listening to the coaching. That's the whole point of why they're there. So I'm definitely in tune with myself prior and getting myself mentally right. And then when I'm in the fight, I'm also, fine-tuned with my coaches so that I can hear select voices and, just kind of go off their coaching and their guidance during the fight.
What do you think? You're trying to listen to your coaches, and what's going through your mind? Or is it just clear, crystal, nothing?
It's kind of more or less like nothing. You would think there's a lot, but when I say nothing, that's like when you're in that flow. Like you're just hearing and responding. I would think it would just be like, I'm going to get him to bite. I'm going to get him to bite. Oh, I don't want to get caught with this. All right, he's looking for that. Those little mental notes, but that's as far as the thinking goes. Like you do this so many times throughout practice, throughout the training camp, that when you get in there, it should just be repetition and instinct and just go right off of that. So
final question, what can the fans expect Saturday night?
I'm looking for the finish, and I want to put this Russian, German, Dagestani, whatever he is, I want to put his lights out and get a bonus, make a statement, elevate my life, and then put myself on that White House card. I think that would be historic and just it's one of a kind. So, yeah.
Hey, Joe, before we let you go, I know you're from the city of brotherly love, but where's your heart? Where's Joe Pfeiffer? What community raised you? What do you vibe with? Because I got a map behind me. I'm gonna put a thumbtack wherever Joe Pfeiffer is from?
Well, I was born and raised in Pittsgrove, New Jersey, and that's like right outside Vineland by like 15 minutes. Real suburb, farm area. I am not a brotherly love city boy.
What?
Even though it's the home of my training since I was 4, but who raised me would be the farm boy life.
Matt, if you would pay attention to co-hosting this show, you would have remembered when Joe told us that last time I brought up about Philadelphia.
Wow. We got to let him go.
Oh, man. Well, I couldn't hear. My hair was in the way.
All right.
Hey, what's the secret, man?
You know what it is? I cut out fluoride in my drinking water, and I stopped using shampoo with chemicals, and I just cleaned up my gut microbiome, and my hair grew out curly like I'm 18 again. I'll be 50 this year. So I feel like a kid again. I feel the best I've ever been, and just trying to get better with age.
Well, you look good, bro. You look young.
Thanks, man.
You look younger than
Appreciate
me.
you. Yes, sir. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Joe, thank you for your time. We're going to hit a break. I'm going to give you my numbers. You can call, and we can get this set up.
Thank you so much.
Let's go hit a break, and we're going to fix some other things here as well.
Hey, this is Andy Sheridan from USA Today, and you're talking sports with, I hate to say this, with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Rhino Cards, located at 406 11th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, is your one-stop card collection facility, specializing in all sports, Pokemon, Star Wars, and of course, Knockout Radio's favorite, the UFC cards. If you're looking to purchase, sell, or trade, then Rhino Cards is the place for you. Details are coming on some very awesome UFC card giveaways, thanks to Rhino Cards as well. That's Rhino Cards, conveniently located in St. Petersburg, on 4th Street and 11th Avenue North. Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds, from the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile. Every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's. Right across from the top. Come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
How you doing? This is Tony Gonzalez from the Kansas City Chiefs, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
And we are back. This is Knockout Radio, coming to you live from the Apex in Las Vegas.
That was all me.
What was wrong? The feedback?
Trying to learn this equipment stuff.
Yeah.
So I had his mic off the whole time.
Right.
Because we can't have the computer mic on. That's where the feedback is.
Well, I was doing it manually. So when you would talk, I would mute his mic. And then when you would talk, I'll mute yours. And so when you go back and play it over on the YouTube, you'll see it sounded good. But you know, you really, like, I had to really watch to see when you were going to be done telling your story. I thought the Matt Serra story was going to go a lot longer. So I was like, I didn't expect him to like, comment in between the story. So I missed a couple of those, but
yeah,
I
rectified it. That was my mistake.
I'm going to be honest with you, Randy. This is surprising to me, but since we started doing this thumbtack tally of where our guests are from, I have a cluster in New Jersey that I don't really think of New Jersey as like a big fight mecca. I mean, you think of Coconut Creek, Florida, American Top Team. You think of Albuquerque. You think of Iowa.
Hold on a
Las
second.
Vegas.
Hold on a second. Take a breath. All of those gyms, okay? Albuquerque. How many people that fight at Jackson Wink are from Albuquerque? They're not. How many people are from Coconut Creek? How many people are from, when Militich up in Davenport? Now that was more because you had Matt and Jens and, Jens I think is from, further out west. So you're thinking the gym. And that's why when you ask where is your heart? If you asked everybody at Coconut Creek, very few are going to say Coconut Creek.
Yeah, you're right.
You think Joanna's going to say Coconut Creek? Dustin Poirier is going to say Coconut Creek?
I was going to say Louisiana all day.
Right.
Yeah. No, but it's cool to see how many people vibe with New Jersey, like as far as like their heart, like the community that raised them or made the most impact in their life. Like, I don't really think of New Jersey when I think of like desired personality traits. Like it seems kind of tough and grimy and like, that's obnoxious and like, I don't know. I never really thought of Jersey as a desirable place, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong with Jersey. Maybe I got to give Jersey another chance.
You need to get Freedom up there.
They got great pizza out there. Actually, the pizza I make today is from Hackettstown, New Jersey, right across the street from Mars M&M factory plant. That's where I learned how to make the first pizza in my entire career.
I'm killing myself on screwing that interview up. It's bothering me. It'll
be fine. You're good.
Well, honestly, I want to be real honest. I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about doing the stuff that I've now started to do.
For sure.
I'm excited about, filming the videos and trying to learn how to do some of this stuff. So in a way, but it's overwhelming because there's so much, 3 different camera angles, this, that, hit the button, turn it off, do this, turn. But I think the most important thing would be turn the freaking mic on.
Yeah, mic helps, but I mean, look, it's a learning curve. It's a learning process. You're an old dog, and you know what they say about old dogs? It's hard to teach a new trick.
They need to put them down.
Huh?
They need to put old dogs down.
Well, I mean, not down, but like, in the back.
So I'm going to start telling every fighter that comes on, when you go and pitch to Dana for the July 4th card at the White House, drop my name in there. Yeah. Joe Pfeiffer just said, after the interview, I'm going to say something. I'm rooting for you. Do you think Yes, I do think I deserve to be there. And I normally don't say that.
I think we'll both be there because I'll be there with Jared from Black Rifle Coffee, who's also part of the conversation tomorrow night with Freedom being introduced to Pete Headset. So it's an exciting time, Randy. I bought my Freedom shirt today. Look, it's got my American flag on it. Now, is this disrespectful because the flag this isn't a regulation flag, but does it matter?
So some people consider it. I know that my wife's grandfather did. I believe you told me a story of somebody had a patch, on their rear. I don't find that disrespectful. What I don't personally like is when you deface the flag, and I know this is going to be awful, and I'm going to take a big hit for this, but the black line, that they would put through the flag, the blue line that they put through the flag. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of defacing it. I'm not a fan of Liberty singing the national anthem. When you make a rock and roll song out of it, when you change octaves and all that kind of stuff. I'm not a big fan of that stuff. But that's just me. I'm a nobody. That it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's what makes America great, right? I guess it's people's interpretation of freedom or the flag or what it represents. Like everybody has a different value for it. So, and that's part of being American, right? I mean, everybody has that choice.
No, exactly. And that's why I said, and I know I upset my mom and some people when I changed my opinion of kneeling during the national anthem. You have a right to do it.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. And it's funny because I talked to Alex Kappa about that yesterday, because that was, trying times. And, he went through not knowing what to do, support his teammates, his beliefs, this, that, the other. So we really didn't talk much about it. But you have a right to do it. And don't get mad if I have a right to call you what I want to call you. You can say something negative without being totally disrespectful.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, you're no, but you can say, I disagree with it. I don't support it. I think differently of you. And then their comment would be, tough, I don't care.
Yeah. Speaking of freedom and military, I lost a very good friend of mine this week. He was a pizza guy, learned how to make pizzas in my restaurant, and then went up and opened his place in Eustis, Florida. Ultra successful, Coast Guard veteran, and he lost his life behind a set of bars. Not jail, but on his Harley. It went down and got hit by a car on the highway and lost his life. So just want to say rest in peace to a great friend and a veteran.
And I won't make any jokes about him being a coastie.
Yeah, I mean he did something pretty cool though. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell it. I have an inside story, but I don't know, like statute of limitations. I mean, does it matter if he's dead or not?
Well, since he's passed on, he can't be held accountable.
That's true. So he was on a mission, and the boat, docked in Cuba. They're picking up whatever, and he stumbled, and he actually, to catch his balance, he stepped foot on Cuban soil on accident, to save his life from falling off the boat. And from what I understand, he was the only active duty member to do so during the time when it was forbidden or the embargo or whatever.
I don't understand.
I don't know. He fell when landed
I
in Cuba.
understood that part.
But as an active military soldier, he wasn't allowed on the land. But he lost his balance, and there it was.
Well, since you're mentioning statute of limitations, I'll tell you about my experience in Cuba.
Okay.
So went to Gitmo, and we were docked there. And you talk about cattle calls to get from the ship to wherever it was that we were going. There was probably 4,612 people on this bus.
Okay.
I decided that I would walk back and not take the bus. And I'm 100% sure that I ended up somewhere I wasn't supposed to be.
Wow.
It was like the housing area of people that lived in Cuba that worked on the Gitmo base. And, I don't remember yesterday, so I certainly don't remember, this from X amount of years ago, but I'm confident I wasn't supposed to be there. I don't think it was illegal, but I was confident I didn't belong there either.
Sure.
So if his statue is up, I'm sure mine is.
All right. Yeah. It's fun, but criticism online about Pete Hegseth coming out saying that the military has to get rid of fat. You don't want to see fat troops in formation any longer. But the comments are that the president is the chief of the military or whatever.
Yeah.
So does Trump have to conform? Will the president have to conform to 2 physical PT tests a year?
Well, I know that they take tests. I don't know about the running and the jumping and all that kind of stuff. Do you think that affects his job? If he can run a 20-minute mile, is that he can play a 20 rounds of golf.
It's true.
He doesn't walk, he's on the cart.
I don't know if you have to run to the bunker in case of an attack.
No, he won't run. He'll get in the vehicle and they'll take him underground and they'll protect him. And, but is it any different than, have you seen some of the police?
No, it's not any different at all. The police have a tough career. I mean, I would say it's the hardest career of all the jobs in civilian life because they're triggering cortisol and adrenaline every time a call comes in for life and death. So hormonally, it's an emotional roller coaster all day, every day, just because of the unknown and the risk involved. And then they're sitting all day and they're writing reports about the things that just happened all day, and then they're eating fast food windows just to be, for efficiency and time. And man, I think they have the hardest job.
Absolutely. And it's the most underrated, underappreciated. Some do appreciate and some don't. And let's don't go into
And freedom can help them too. I mean, it absolutely can.
All right, bottom of the hour, we should have our next guest coming up. So let's go hit a quick break. When we come back, a veteran. We're going to be joined by a veteran. So after I butcher his name, hopefully, and then I make fun of what branch he was in, I'll see what'll be more disrespectful.
Be careful.
Name right.
He's going to be across the table from you.
He's going to be across the table. All right, coming to you live from the UFC Apex in Las Vegas. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff.
This is John Smoltz of the Atlanta Braves, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
Saturday, October 4th, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship debuts at the Prudential Center in Newark. In the main event, it's an all-out war when the reigning king of violence, Platinum Mike Perry, defends his title against a warrior ready to bring the brutality, Jeremy Lil Heathen Stevens. In the co-main event, New Jersey boys collide as Frankie the Answer Edgar fights Jimmy El Terra Rivera. Plus, the first ever queen of violence will be decided when bad blood boils over as Christine Misfit Faria throws down with Jessica the Black Widow Borga. Avoid the sellout. Get your tickets now at bkfc.com.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
This is Robbie Gould from the Chicago Bears, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back, coming to you live from the UFC Apex, Matt in the dungeon, wherever you're located. All right, so this could go really, really well, or this could go really, really bad, really, really fast. What will disrespect you more? Me mispronouncing your name, or me making fun that you're an Army vet?
Oh, man, listen, I could handle the name, but the Army service, man, listen, it don't get tougher than a mean green, baby.
You know, and you know where I'm going with it. I'm Navy, you're Army.
Know.
You know,
Yeah, there's
so
a
normally
long
I
history
do
there.
this towards the end, but here's my veteran challenge coin.
Thank you so much.
So I
appreciate
want to give
bro.
that to
Thank
you.
God bless. I really appreciate that.
I've covered the UFC longer than anyone.
Yes,
I started at UFC 1. I do very little research. My objective is, and same with Matt, is it's a conversation. This isn't an interview. This is just a conversation, and wherever it goes, it goes. But I try to find one or two things. And when I saw the Army, I'm like, okay, that's all I need.
Yes, sir.
We can talk about the Army experience.
Yeah. So funny enough, actually, I did 6 years and 2 years in active ready reserve. So I did 6 years as a reservist in Texas. So majority of my Army career was in the reserves. I did a few times to try to go active duty, but then fighting started to kick in and career paths changed. But honest to God, I think it was basic training, AIT, and some of those non-combat deployments that we had that I actually got to participate in were some of the greatest things that I ever went through. It's something that I keep near and dear in my heart. Honestly, it is. It's a major milestone, and I respect anybody that's been in the service.
Did you enjoy the service while you were in? And I'll tell you my case.
Yeah.
I don't really think I enjoyed it until I got out.
No, absolutely.
And then
not.
I kind of miss.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you're an athlete.
Yeah,
you
100%.
missed certain things.
You. It's just like athletics, right? It's just like fighting. You dread it. You're like, oh, the weight cut, oh, the fight, and all the this and that. But then when you leave it, you're like, man, that is hands down probably one of the greatest establishments and one of the most unheralded camaraderies that you could ever be a part of. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I do miss that. I always say this. I always tip my hat to anybody who served. It doesn't matter to me. And
even Coast Guard.
I don't know, puddle pirates.
Right,
man.
exactly.
They're a knockoff of the Navy, right?
Exactly. Well, somebody told me this, and I was interviewing somebody or chatting with somebody, and they said, "My brother's in the Coast Guard." What do you mean? Did you know that they passed a law that you have to be 6 feet or taller to be in the Coast Guard?
Wait, now?
Yeah.
Wow.
That way, if the ship sinks you, they can walk back to shore.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Like you were just talking about, that stuff that you and I can do, or a Coast Guard and I can do. I ripped the Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
At the Super Bowl, two of them came and did the show, Pilot 3 and Pilot 4, and we're like best friends now. But we're ripping each other.
Yeah.
But it's something we can do. I can make fun of the
100%.
Army. You can make fun of the Navy. But that guy walking down the street that's never served.
No, he can't.
No,
he can't. He can't. He doesn't have that exclusivity to do that.
Exactly.
So he's good.
What did you do in the military, if you can talk
So
about
I was a 31 Bravo military police. Enjoyed it. I know I tried to transfer a few times, do a couple other things, and wasn't really successful. I had a S1, I think, or a S2 that didn't push a lot of my paperwork up. So I love being an MP. It was cool. It was unique. I got to see some pretty cool stuff, do some pretty unique things. But my main thing that I really, really wanted to do was try to get an SF if I ever had the chance to. I speak another language too, so I would have loved to. But
very cool.
Yeah,
Matt. One more, and then you can ask. What did you take? What were you able to take from your military background into the profession?
Discipline, 100%. It goes without saying, right? Be it Army, be it Navy, be it Marines, you get put in these situations, be it through basic, through AIT, through training scenarios, through stuff that requires a ton of discipline. Half the time you don't even want to be there, right? Let's say you're in a training exercise, you're like, dude, come on, like, hurry up and wait, right? Like, I don't want to be here right now, but it's that discipline that just sees it through. You just keep doing it, and then that's how greatness is bred, man. So the discipline 100% transferred over.
I'll get off the military, but I love talking
100%.
about military.
Thank you.
And again, Matt, you're up next. What was boot camp like for you? Because for me, and I'll just tell you mine, I laughed the entire time. Now, I didn't laugh out loud.
Yeah.
I'm laughing inside as they're, screaming. And they found a $5 bill in the guy's locker next to me. And the guy starts screaming. And I'm like rolling. This is the stupidest thing ever.
So I was in Bravo Company in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. I did basic and AIT in 2013 out there. Basic training was unique. Was a great experience. The best thing I never have to do again, right? You know what I mean? So with that being said, it was 50-50, right? Because if you know anything about Missouri, I went there in February, and that was not a good time to be in Missouri. Not a good time to be having first formation or early morning PT.
It's 5 a.m.
No. But their DFAC and their chows were off the charts, man, because they had the engineers there, and they would just build up. They had these new DFACs. Some incredible chow, man.
We're bringing back some memories. Good, Matt.
So with yesterday's announcement, Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, He says that all military need to pass 2 physical tests per year. Randy says not every job requires physical ability or capability. What's your take? What do you think about the statements? And should everyone have the same standard of fitness?
Now, I agree. There has to be a good standard across the board, right? When you're the fighting force of the world, it's not a good look to see people out of regulations with being overweight, all of that stuff. But I do feel they do need to be a little bit rigorously trained, which I don't think that they really care about that stuff. So I would definitely agree on the take of, every single job, it varies, right? Because I mean, I don't know how much PT you want a line cook or a nuke in the Navy to do.
And that's what I said to him. I think that everybody, not even the military, should be in better shape.
100%.
I was in CIC. I ran the computers. I talked to but I didn't need to run a 7-minute mile. To sit at the radar.
No, I agree with you on that one. 100%.
Let's talk about fighting. Your fight on Saturday, and I asked Joe Piper for the same question. You've had a few bonuses.
Okay.
Do you think about that?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I go in with a hungry mindset every time I fight, right? A lot of people, they tell me, they're like, hey, you back-to-back bonuses. Are you in a hurry to do this? No, man, I'm just looking to dominate on Saturday, and whatever comes with it, comes with it. My main objective is to dominate and to win, right? Whatever comes on the other side of that comes on the other side. I don't want to be fixated on, am I going to get 500,000 followers? Is Trump going to be an audience? Is this? Is that? Once the cage door closes, nothing else matters to me except my opponent across from me and just annihilating him. That's all.
A fight, and what's the craziest thing, strangest thing that's ever happened, either to you, with you, involving you in a fight?
I've had a few crazy things happen. In one of my fights, actually in LFA, I concussed myself. I slammed the dude, and I hit the metal beam, and I actually slit my head open a little bit. And I don't remember the side. No, I mean, it is now because I look back at it, I'm like, what a profession I chose, but one that I love dearly. But no, and then obviously my debut in the UFC, like I think with 1 minute and 30 seconds left, I caught a punch on the side of my head, and it split. Pretty unique. But what's going through my head when I fight is honestly, I don't really think much. I think it's an instinctual. I'm in a very receptive moment, right? I'm just in the moment. A lot of people they say, I'm gonna do this as soon as the round starts, and maybe that's not there. You just have to be ever present. And the more that you're present, the more opportunities present themselves. And like I said, I guess that's where the bonus is coming.
Sure. What's more important, dominating or winning? Because I've talked about like George Gagel. I don't know if familiar with him.
No,
very good friend of mine. He was like a 412-degree black belt, fought in the UFC, but he would never use his jiu-jitsu. He wanted to prove who would lose.
Well, my thing is this. Obviously, I want to dominate to win. The win is the most important thing. So even if that domination at times might look like I'm point fighting, this, at the end of the day, you're always going to be able to move your chips further whenever you come off a win, right? So the main objective here is to collect 2 checks and make no mistake about it. A win is most important, but if I could go in there and dominate and do so in an incredible fashion, hey man, chef's kiss.
Matt?
Yeah, of course. So you talk about what's going on inside the head. On your Instagram, I see your barber came to your room.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't had a haircut in a while, but it makes me miss the self-care of doing the facial and getting lined up. So talk about, as a veteran and as a professional fighter, you're used to just not, taking damage and the repercussions. But what other things do you do for self-care other than, the barber?
Man, honestly, it goes without saying, with the dieting, with regimenting the sleep, and, balancing, in essence, balancing life out, right? You want to make sure that you're not all work or you're not all play, right? You want to have hard work, you want to have play, you want to have all those moments, you know. And majority of the things that I look at is just listening to my body, right? That's what I've gotten better as I've gotten a lot older. You know, I used to go with this mindset of, 1,000 miles an hour. And as you start to get a little bit older, you're like, wait a second, like I can't roll out of bed like the 21-year-old Remiz and just hit a crazy minute mile right now, without pulling something. But no, 100%, still the hard work, still all of that, but prioritizing and listening to your body and seeing where you're at.
Have Randy get one of those gold facials. Yeah.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it, man. We'll have him looking really good for his next
clean
clip.
him up.
Oh yeah.
What?
You get gold plated. It's a face mask. You get a gold plated face mask.
Yeah.
You look 10 years younger as soon as you take it off.
Do it for the YouTube.
There you go. You'll be 28.
Do you collect anything? Do you collect, your gear, your brother's gear, memorabilia?
Absolutely.
Sports, non-sports, what?
So it's funny, my girl, pardon my last one at the Apex, I didn't even know it, but the first time she did it, I get a big package in the mail, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I see it's my framed memorabilia. And I don't know if it's because my girl's a little superstitious, but she's like, I don't want, she's like, I worry about, dark energy and this and this. And I'm like, well, thanks, babe. I appreciate it. But you didn't have to go out of your way and spend like $250 on my fight worn jersey. But I've actually, funny enough, I think, to my knowledge, I've kept every single glove that I've had since my first amateur fight.
Really?
So I always keep.
How about MMA, your stuff? Is there something you'd like to pick up, acquire?
100%, man. Anything to do with the military. This whole training camp. It's funny that I'm doing it. I had no idea what this interview was going to be about or who.
Neither did I.
Be. But
that was supposed to be funny.
No, it is, because this whole training camp, I'm addicted. It is one of my favorite conflicts to study on, and I think those past generations, Vietnam, Korea, World War II, and even further, when you look back, you see what the gold standard of what an American is, and like I said, anytime I see a veteran, but especially when I see a Vietnam, Korean, I know I probably won't be able to see a World War II veteran, but that would be a dream of mine, is to come in contact with a World War II veteran and just pick their brain on some of the things that they, just how life was back then, and whole training camp, all I've been doing is watching Apocalypse Now, Full Metal Jacket, and it's just been getting me in a good mindset, man. Just some good old tough Americans.
How will you celebrate Sunday, Monday, after you dominate?
Absolutely. After I dominate, and when I win Saturday, I am going to probably have a nice T-bone steak. I'm going to be honest, man. I've just been craving. I've been watching how these chefs, these top chefs, ludicrous stuff. Some of them are like, there was this one dude, he put salt, like I have no idea. He heated the salt up and then he just poured it all over the steak. So I've just been watching these interesting styles of steak making. So might give it a shot. Try not to poison my family.
Yeah, I've got
thoughts on that.
So
You being
so first, okay. So first, like going back to the war part, I'm fascinated with pennies because I'm a biohacker and I know they took copper out of our civilization. Copper deficient, so touching copper every day in commerce was a healing property. And in 1944 and 45, the military rationed all the copper and they made a steel penny. And so if you come across a war steel penny, it's worth 6 figures or more. I mean, because they saved all the copper for the military.
Holy
So I'm a big fan of that. Man, they're just, dude, you're so great, man. Like, but go back to your girl's dark energy post, Shama 320. He's notorious for using or channeling dark energy.
Yeah.
Like black magic. So what are your thoughts? Is that equal to a performance enhancing drug or a hormone that a fighter would take? I mean, is channeling spirits a form of cheating?
For me personally, I stay away from that stuff. I never really messed with Ouija boards or anything like that. Listen, I'm in this life. I don't want to know what they're doing in the next life. Listen, to each his own, right? I know we live in a very touchy day and age. I never want to ruffle feathers, you know what I mean? But me personally, I don't mess with that stuff. I'm not too big into all of that stuff. I believe in God, and you do good. You get me with voodoo dolls and trying to summon.
Nothing in New Orleans.
No. Actually, funny enough, I went to New Orleans for the first time in my life back in July when the UFC was in July.
Yeah.
Amazing food, but something felt very off about that city. And I was like, I got a sty in my eye and that I don't really need to be here. But incredible food, though, nonetheless. Incredible
food. Did you notice the houses for sale instead of saying like?
And then I'm hearing the vampire stories.
Crazy.
Yeah, right. I'm hearing vampire stories. Did you hear this stuff?
Wow.
That's crazy. So I'm like locking my door at the Airbnb. I'm putting the chair on the door too. I'm like, listen, I'm going to the store. I'm buying like excessive amounts of garlic. I'm like, listen. They're like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, listen, I understand there's a lot of spirits. They had these, what do they call them? The tarot card readers and the palm readers and all those mystical women and stuff. And I was like,
all right, last question. So I always ask our guests, it's where you're from, the city you vibe with. So on the map behind me, I've got a map of the entire world.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Like, where is your home?
So I was born and raised in the Bronx, New York. Came up in Texas. Texas has a big stands for, I think it's a very American state. But I'm always going to feel truly, I'm a first generation Albanian born American, right? But I'm always going to feel a deep rooted connection to the Bronx all the time, man. I don't know what it is. It's the food. It's, I guess you could say it's my first love, but Texas has a very big part of my heart.
With that said, Nabi's out there. She's looking at me. I want to tell you.
Yeah.
I've covered the sport. I always tell the PR, the interviews are 8 to 12 minutes. This is a sign that you have now done the longest chat ever.
Wow.
Because I'd like to keep it short.
Let's go,
baby.
It's my honor. Thank you, guys.
We got to get a break. Coming to you live from the Apex. We'll be right back.
Let's go.
This is Willie the Soul, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the Vanderford. Phase demons real are in their heads and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair in Pinellas Park or call them at 727-290-9873.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake, plenty of work for you.
and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
This is Matt Hughes, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
We're back. This is Knockout Radio coming to you live from Tampa. Randy's in Las Vegas at the UFC Apex. What's going on? I saw Navi on the in the background.
There. The other
UFC
yeah, Riz just sent just set the record.
What a guest! What a guy! How can you not be a fan of that man? I mean, first generation Albanian American, defended our freedoms, living his best life. He's everything that's right. And that's what America is. It's, people leave their country, they come here to be American, not come here to change it to what they left. And you gotta love that dude. I mean, that's
thing. I knew I wanted to bring it up a little bit. And awesome guy. I gave his brother a challenge coin as well. We're going to send him some 8-man strong gear. I'll send him some fantasy pets. I'll do whatever he wants. He was really cool. He was.
So, Rand, if you weren't born in the land of the privilege, right? Like born into freedom, born an American from birth, hatched in Philadelphia. What country would you wish you came from?
It's funny when I was downstairs, stressing to get up to the room in time to fix everything up, and like I said, I'm starting to learn how to set it up, what to turn on, what to turn off. I was talking to he just came from Florida. He's been here in Vegas. He was going to move to Florida 10, 12 years ago. He didn't. He's complaining about taxes. He's complaining about this, a bunch of stuff. And he goes, but here's the worst part. It's still the best country in the world. It's still better than anything else out there, with all the complaints and everything. And I mean, that's such a hypothetical, who knows? With my luck, I would have been the only human born in like underwater in Antarctica or something.
If you were born down there, you might not be here now.
Every day is a gift.
No, but come on, play the game. Like what country do you wish you would come from? If you weren't American, what would you choose to be second? Like if you got to, gave up your passport and they said, okay, you're going to denounce your American citizenship. You will now become this. What nation is that represents you?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that. I don't. Because I mean, there's certain countries that I've been to and that I've enjoyed. Like Brazil. But would I want to really be from Brazil? I think it'd be cool to have that demeanor. To be that tough Philadelphian kind of guy, or female. But I wouldn't want to live, in the slums. I wouldn't want to in the favelas.
Favelas, right. Well, I mean, but if you could be Paulo Costa, or you could be Randy. No way. It's like if you choose between Batman and you. Of course, you choose Batman. Like,
well, that might be difficult. That maybe I would choose Batman. Yeah. But I love my life. I loved everything about my life. You didn't, then that's the way you said it. If you could choose between Paul Costa or Randy Harris, I would choose Randy Harris. Because of my children, because of my wife, blah 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 blah.
Did you see?
If you were to say, if you were not Randy Harris, who would you want to be? Then yes, Batman would be a good number 2.
Did you see Paul Costa knocked out Colby Covington?
No, but I saw Vanderlei Silva get knocked out.
Well, Vanderlei Silva got knocked out, but Paul Costa knocked out Covington in the Celebrity Poker Tour. Beat him with a pair of kings.
I saw the clip. I just didn't watch it. But
and Vanderlei Silva highlights the risk that I put myself in as a commissioner of the state of Florida every fight, because when chaos breaks out in the ring, my job is to protect my fighter at all times, regardless, in a sanctioned bout. And that was terrifying to watch on TV, the melee after, and we've seen it over and over again about fighters losing professionalism and people rush in the ring. Sean Strickland and Reyes and Blades. But yeah, man, that was terrifying. I pray I never have to end up in a situation like that as a commissioner.
You wonder. And it's easy to say, and I know you're going to pipe in and say it, but it's easy to say you would do. I would do this. I would do that until you're put in that situation. Remember the shooting at the school down south. The security guard there who I believe was armed, and that was his job. He ran. So you don't know, and that's why I hate hypotheticals. If I hit the lottery, I would. Whatever. It's a hypothetical. You don't know until you're put in that situation, and not to bring up my stance on. Oh, we're at the top of the hour. We'll continue this when we return. This is Knockout Radio.
Hey, this is Cecil Fielder from Detroit, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you're meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching
PAN, Clearwater,
FM 106.1,
WDCF, Dade City,
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. There was a vote today in the Senate to end the government shutdown. It failed. But CBS's Caitlin Huey Burns reports there may be indications of some sort of compromise.
We've been watching the Senate floor during that last, and we have been learning from our reporting that there are discussions underway for an even shorter term bill that might at least get the government back open and have those conversations about health care. Now, these are just preliminary readouts from these huddles, but it does give us a sign that there are conversations happening.
In the meantime, federal workers are caught in the middle. Terrence Johns is a U.S. 35 days.
You would think that debt holders would understand, hey, you're on furlough and all of that, but a lot of us had to go out and pick up extra jobs during that time. I hope they would keep in mind, our elected officials, on both sides of the aisle, that we have people that are in these federal jobs helping to make America run.
The political finger pointing continues in Washington. At the White House moments ago, Vice President J.D. Vance.
Our troops are not getting paid starting today because of the Chuck Schumer wing of the Democratic Party.
Democrat Jamie Raskin.
It's day one, but it follows up on 9 months of their efforts to dismantle government services.
The Department of Homeland Security said today ICE agents and Border Patrol officers have arrested what they describe as 800 illegal aliens preparing for the arrival of federal officers. Nicole Valdez reports it still isn't clear how many.
Now, we know that this federal task force was never meant to be just the National Guard and those boots on the ground, if you will. They are certainly said to be a part of this operation. They could be arriving here within the next 2 weeks, according to the Memphis police chief. But who we do see on the ground today are agencies, about 20 or so of them. And that includes the FBI, the ATF, the DEA.
Israel has issued what it calls a final warning for people to flee Gaza City. The warning coming as Hamas shut down Oktoberfest today after a bomb threat and then the discovery of the suspect who had killed himself. Tourists were left wondering what was going on.
A little upset. We came a long way and we're only here for 1 day. We fly out tomorrow.
Well, a little irritated because we had reservations, but better safe than sorry.
The Oktoberfest fairgrounds have since reopened. On Wall Street at this hour, stocks are higher. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
Tampa Bay's 10 Talk.
From the Tampa Bay Bucks, and you're talking with Randy Harris, baby.
All right, we're back. Playing with the camera here.
Yeah.
I need to bring banners and stuff next time.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, like a professional would have.
Well, the professional barely remembered to bring the equipment, so.
I look like a golfer today. Look at me, ready for the PDA Expo. And I don't know if you see on YouTube, our boys from Divot Dudes. They have that. They do the long drive with Martin, and they do these golf challenges and YouTube channels. So, I was watching their program the other day, and
well, if you think you look like a golfer, I would say you look like a losing golfer.
Why you say that?
Well, because you look American.
Oh, the Ryder Cup.
They almost had a unbelievable comeback after not even showing up the first 2 days. And when I went to the Bucks game and I came back and they only lost by a few when they were down like 8-3 or 9-3, something like that. Who would have thunk that they would have played as bad as they played?
Yeah, I mean, is golf one of those things? You think of like America dominated and, obviously football and other sports, but golf is such a universal global sport. Are American expected to win?
No, I don't think they're expected to, but when the number one golfer in the world is American, I think the number 3 or 4 is American. I think they had more, ranked, but still doesn't matter if 1, 3, 6, plays 2, 4, 7. I mean, you're one putt away here or there, but to be totally dominated, like they. But what about Rory McIlroy? The friction that was going between the fans and him, and him responding, and then some of even the American golfers kind of telling the crowd to, pipe it down a little bit. See, I always thought the Ryder Cup was that. Not quite the 16th hole in Phoenix, but where it is a little loud, it is a little rambunctious. It's us against them, it's them against us, depending on which country it's in. Did it go overboard? I know that people got ejected. There was a lot of bad stuff that was happening, but they're words.
None of that in Europe. I mean, the Tour de France, for example, they
well, this wasn't in Europe. This was here in the States.
But it brings that same kind of energy, though. I mean, even though it's not, depending on whose home turf it was, it still brings that rivalry, that edge. And so I like a little rowdiness in my golf. Otherwise it's more boring than watching jiu-jitsu or watching guys lay on the ground in the UFC.
I don't understand how professional golfers need silence. You're a professional. Are you telling that you need more concentration to hit a golf ball? More silence to hit a golf ball than a dude that's throwing a 100-mile-an-hour missile at you?
I mean, okay, well, let's use the military. A sniper in conflict, an active shootout, who has to time his shot with his breath to pull the trigger, at the precise moment to, under pressure, under gunfire. You don't need a silent crowd to be a good golfer. A sniper in that situation is still going to execute and do his training and his skill. And he's going to tune out everything around him to execute. So, no, that golf has to be a quiet, golf collapse. Let the fans cheer Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, it's insane. I'm going to miss the same shot whether you're cheering or not. So the cheering's not going to affect me.
I mean, if you're really locked in, you don't even hear the crowd.
Well, it's like a fight.
That's it.
You're in a fist fight, right? You're in a fist fight. We're at the Apex last night, for Dana White Contender Series. There's cheering, there's chanting, there's this and that. You telling me that they don't hear it? Now, they'll tell you they don't. But a lot have told me that they have, and they block it out. It's just
some of it gets through. But some of it gets through.
Right, it gets through, but it's just noise. Right. You're not concentrating on it. That's like, and I got to give Joe Pfeiffer a lot of credit. He powered through that where I was stupid and didn't turn the mic on. So we turned the mic on the computer knowing that there would be feedback. All I had to do was turn the mic on. I was looking at the wrong button. He didn't flinch You know, he told me that it was a problem, which is fine. It's better that he did it than when you did it. You should have just powered through it. And we figured it out during breaks. He was a professional. Dude's all right, except for you don't listen. When last time he said he's not from Philadelphia.
I know, but I always think of him in Philadelphia. Like, you know, I see his face and I just know like what I thought he embodied was a city of brotherly
Hold on
love.
a second. Hold on. That's pretty big. You're being a little disrespectful. All right, let's go ahead and hit a quick break, and then we will have a guest. We'll be right back. All right, I think we're back. Are we back?
Hey, this is Seth from Detroit. You're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you're meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong. Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. Well, that was the first one. Oh, that was the first one. Okay, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. You know, Matt, some said he was out. From the joke. And
we're back. This is Knockout Radio coming to you live. Randy is at the Apex out in Las Vegas. He's obviously talking to someone. Let's bring him on. Get back to the show.
I went from, oh my God, Matt, to holy crap.
All right.
So I wasn't happy for who won, but
we're back, Randy. This is live. Randy Harris coming to you live from the Apex in Las Vegas. What's going on?
All right, well, we are back. We are continuing. We were talking off air about stuff. I hope I get this at least close. We're welcoming Farid Basharat.
Very good.
Was that all right?
That's right.
I really try to study. It's the only thing I study, and I still butcher. But welcome to the show.
Thank you for having
me. I was just telling you, I've covered the UFC since the very beginning. UFC 1. UFC 11 was the first one I attended with my 11-year-old son.
Wow.
And I was on the front page of the LA newspaper, the worst father in America, because I had an 11-year-old cage side. And it's, you know, and again, this was a long time ago. This is when, you know, it was bad. You asked me my favorite fighter, my favorite fight. Who's your favorite fighter and your favorite fighter?
My favorite fighter, I would say, is Khabib Nurmagomedov. He's a big fan of him, his style and everything. Favorite fight? It's tough. There's a lot, man. I love the Khabib McGregor one because it was just the magnitude of it, pure entertainment before the fight, during the fight, and after the fight. As far as the classic fight goes, I loved Shogun and Dan Henderson one. I thought that was an amazing fight. And yeah, off the top of my head, those two are the ones that stand out for me.
What would be one of your favorite? And I don't remember much. I'm so old, I barely remember waking up. But like something that's happened in your career, or that you were at in a fight, which is still kind of part of your career, that still sticks to you. Is there one thing that sticks out?
One thing I have many memories. I wouldn't say there's one that sticks out. I remember my UFC debut, ironically, exact same venue, massive pay-per-view, John Jones, Cyril Gahn, a couple years ago. And I remember as the fight was starting, and I thought, these lights are bright. I was thinking these lights are bright. And what's funny is the fight starts. Me and my opponent had a bit of bad blood, no touch of gloves. He runs across Fabricio Verdun style, fly kicks me. And I step out the way and I thought, this is the big league. You better switch on. No time to look at the lights. This guy's trying to kill you. So that was a moment in my head. I was like, this is the UFC, a different beast.
What was it like you know, you're working your way up. Did you think it was going to be different? Did you have to put it in your mind, this is the big leagues, and or is it just another fist fight?
You know, essentially, in actuality, it's just another fist fight. It's you and another man in a cage, beat him. But you can't help with human and everything that goes into it, the media, the lights, the crowd. It does play a factor. Now, I'm big on visualizations. I visualize a lot. I visualize the walk, the crowd, the smell of the arena, the lights. I visualize everything. So I think I did a good job of visualizing the moment. So I was quite prepared for it. But even then, I still found it to be quite daunting. And yeah, at the end of the day, it is just another fight. If you can focus to that level, you're sorted. But it's very difficult with all the media and all the pressure that comes with it.
How difficult is it to block all that out? You know, like I always make a mental note to myself, you know, 30 seconds in, 3 minutes in, there's your first sweep the leg or the Ric Flair woo. Or can you block all that stuff out, or do you does it infiltrate?
I think how for me it works, it's a work in progress. Like you constantly have to work on yourself. You have to be aware. You can't just switch off and just get to the fight. And then, because if you do that, that's why I do my visualization and stuff. I'm constantly working on my mentality, because I feel like if you neglect that stuff, you get to the fight and then it's kind of a shock to you. Even small things like skin on skin. In training, where we always have t-shirts on, so when we wrestle or grapple, we have shin guards on, so you don't feel the skin on skin and the bone on bone. So I try to visualize even those small, minute details, because when you do I remember my debut, the guy low kicked me, and I was like, oh, this isn't a shin guard. This is his bone hitting my leg.
Right.
And I was like, no, focus again. You know, so you really have to work on your mentality. It's not just physical. I feel like this sport is 80% mental. So those are the little things that I feel like if you want to get to the top, you have to focus on those too.
One more, Matt, and then I'll throw it to you. Talk about Future for Orphans.
Future for Orphans. So I'm very proud to be working with this charity. It's a family-run charity. They started off with an orphanage of 4 orphans, I believe. It's in Afghanistan, and they started with 4 orphans, and now 2 years later they have 140. And now they have a project where they want to build a physical school.
I just noticed it.
Yeah, right here.
I just noticed it.
They want to build a physical school for the orphans. The building, the books, the tables, everything, the pens. And what I'm doing is I'm fundraising this whole fight camp. I've been fundraising towards the building of that school. You know, and the donation link is in my bio on the Instagram. Okay. And it's something I'm very proud of, because it is something that's been on my mind since before I even got to the UFC. I always thought I want to do charity work in some capacity, you know. And me personally, that's how I feel. Because I did not come from the most fortunate background myself. I did come out of poverty. I was born in Afghanistan. I did live in a refugee camp. I did immigrate first to Pakistan, then to England. So, you know, for me, it's a touchy subject. It's a soft spot in my heart. That's why I'm so passionate about it.
Where's the link? How can people get to it?
So if you go to my Instagram, Farid Official, the link is in my bio. If you click on my profile, the Future for Orphans link will be there. There will be a donation link, and you could just contribute whatever's within your means. We would love it. We'd appreciate it.
We'll push it as well. Go ahead, Matt.
Farid, so let's go back to the mindset. You know, the visualization. When you go into the fight, you know, when the bell rings, you engage your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight response. So are you an internal coach? Are you coaching yourself in the fight itself? Or are you tuned in audibly to your coach for perspective, for your corner? You know, or is it a balance between the two?
There's got to be a balance. I would say if you're asking me for a percentage or a ratio, I would say it's probably I would say 70-80% internal, and then that extra 20-30% your coaches give you that little bit of feedback in the corner or in between, in the round itself. My mentality is that I need nothing. I go into these fights and I think I need nothing but myself. Meaning, not in an arrogant way, but I'm saying like it's just me and my opponent in the cage. My coaches can't fight for me. The work they did was in the training room for the 8 weeks leading up. So, but once I'm locked in the cage with my opponent, it's all you, Farid. It's all you. You have to be switched on. You have to get the win. They will be a bonus. They will help, but you have to go in there with the mentality. It's mano a mano. It's you and that other man.
Speaking of the other man, what's your thoughts, you know, on him? Or, and I always ask, does it even matter? Because it's what you do to him, not necessarily what he's going to bring.
Correct. Yeah. I think earlier on in my career, I would focus too much on my opponents. What do they do well? They like to do this, etc. For me now, I feel like I've gotten into a mindset that it's all about me. Now, it matters who the opponent is that little bit because we have to game plan him. He likes to do certain things. He doesn't like to do certain things. And this is just high fight IQ. I feel the best fighters, the John Joneses, the GSPs, the Mighty Mouses, they all did this well. They game planned well. But yeah, essentially, he's a good opponent. He's solid. He's been around for a long time. He's had over twice as many fights as I have. I remember watching his fight against Timur Valiev on WSOF 2015 when I started the sport. So it just goes to show I'm fighting all these guys that I used to watch and stuff. But my time is now. I haven't even entered my prime. I've just turned 28. So I feel I'm going to make a lot of noise in this weight division.
Final question. I'm getting the looks to wrap it up. If you could have dinner with any 4 people, living or passed away, real or fictitious, no family members, nobody from the gym, who would it be?
That's a tough one. Okay.
If you want to think about it, I'll hit you up tomorrow at the press conference or something, and I'll give you time. I normally don't give you time to do it.
Yeah. You hit.
I have a.
I'll ask me tomorrow at the press conference.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I got one. So Fareed, so born in Afghanistan. I'm always asking the fighters, it's not where you're from, but where you vibe from. Like what characteristics, what made you who you are today?
Yeah.
So I have a map behind me of the world.
Yes, sir.
So I'm a thumbtack wherever it is that Fareed, the official, is from, where you vibe with.
I feel like I'm a dual nationality person. Afghanistan and the UK. This is where I'm from. This is where I vibe from. Afghanistan, it's where I was born. It's what my blood is. Both parents are Afghan, and the UK is where I spent 20 years. And you can see from the way I speak, my accent, and my mannerisms. I'm a typical London boy, if you would.
All right, so I got one spot.
Hold on a second.
One spot. I'll go with Afghanistan. Make my parents proud.
I was going to make an executive decision as the owner of Knockout Radio. I'm going to allow you both. I'm going to allow you both. Please. All right, we got to hit a first duel. We got to hit a break so I don't get into trouble. First duel, only duel. It's the only duel. All right, we'll be right back.
Danny Sheridan from USA Today, and you're talking sports with, I hate to say this, with Randy Harris.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
Saturday, October 4th, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship debuts at the Prudential Center in Newark. In the main event, it's an all-out where you're ready to bring the brutality. Jeremy Lil Heathen Stevens. In the co-main event, New Jersey boys collide as Frankie the Answer Edgar fights Jimmy Altera Rivera. Plus, the first ever Queen of Violence will be decided when Bad Blood boils over as Christine Misfit Faria throws down with Jessica the Black Widow Borga. Avoid the sellout. Get your tickets now at bkfc.com.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat?
Berg's Sports Bar and Grill.
You want to have a drink? Where do you go?
Berg's. That's right, Berg's Sports Bar and Grill.
Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg's.
Bills and looking for work, but nobody faces the light. Stapstone is the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Stapstone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.stapstone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the steps.
Well, the Detroit Tigers, and I want to recommend Talking Sports with Randy Harris, one of the great shows of all time.
All right, we are back coming to you live from, or at least I am, the UFC Apex in Las Vegas. Matt in his dungeon somewhere in Tampa Bay. Let's welcome to the program Adobe Gaudier. Am I close? Okay. I was 20%.
Yeah.
25%. All right. Right out of the blocks, I just mentioned it to you off the air. I was even thinking last night that the fight wasn't even going to happen. You know, I even took the list off because I didn't think you were coming. So what's it like for you emotionally wise to think you have a fight, not think you have a fight, now know you have a fight?
For me, like, I was like, okay, I knew, like, as my coach told me I'm going to have a fight. So, like, for me, I was okay. You know, like, I was just confident, like, I'm going to have a fight anyway. So I was just calm.
I'm going to take, by the way you're saying that, it doesn't even matter who it is, whether you know who it is, did you do research on it, or is it just fight comes, you're going to do what you do, and it doesn't matter?
When they give an opponent, like, my coach said yes first, and then we check. Yeah, but yes first. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it doesn't matter. But
what's fight week like for you guys?
For me, it's not. So, like, for the process, like, you know, like cutting weight and stuff like that, and then like training a bit. Like, I'm more like in the hotel, I'm not going out, so it's a bit, for me it's
like solitary almost.
Yes, for me it's okay, but obviously, like, my coach is not okay. He's not okay for my coach.
So what do you do in the room? I mean, are you just watching TV, or you?
I'm watching anime. Yeah, speak with my family. Yeah.
What's your thoughts? And I always ask fighters, like, walking to the cage, what are you thinking when the gate shuts? What are you thinking, or is there nothing? Is it just you try to clear your mind and not think anything?
I'm not trying to clear my mind. It's like I'm just like I already did a long time ago. So as soon as I start the workout, like, so as I heard my music, you know, my song, like workout music, I'm like, okay, I'll just switch off a long time. Yeah. So I'm not like, I know they're gonna close the cage, so for me there's no point to keep on my mind they're gonna close or not. Like, it's okay. I'm just focused on my opponent. That's it. Just focus. Like, let's go now. You know.
I always call fight day like Christmas. You know, you've done all your work, or it's, you know, school. Summer, you know, it's now started. School's over, because that's your reward. Everything that you've done, getting ready for fight week, everything's done. Now your reward is Saturday, correct?
Yes, exactly. Like, for me, the fight, the fight, I take it like as an exam. You know, just show what you've been learning all these times. That's all. But I've, you know, like the exam, but the kind of exam I like, you know, like I'm doing it because I like it. So for me, it's normal. So let's do it.
Matt, before I throw it to you, you've got the next one, but I've got to be honest, I'm going to lean back when I say this because I don't want him to jump over the table. You just seem like the calmest, nicest, you know, like if you need to get the zen, I want to hang out with you and just mellow. I'm afraid of what I'm going to see on Saturday. I think when that gate shuts, I think it's an entirely different something.
I don't like.
Am I wrong in thinking that?
Like, yeah.
Coach is saying there's two sides to every.
Yeah, I just say, like, I have two sides, like normal, like calm guys. Obviously, I'm calm, to be honest. Calm person, nice person, but in the cage, you can't be like, you know. That's how I talk to myself. You can't be nice with someone who signed to hurt you. You can't be nice with him, you know. He signed because for him, he think he can beat you up. And he can beat you up in front of people, you know, in front of your family, your friends, you know. So for me, it's like, no, I can't be nice. For me, it's like, if you sign, that's mean like you underestimate me. You know, it's not about like, if you sign, that's mean you think I'm lower than you. And for me, it's like there's no point. I will let you think that way. You know?
Right.
I won't let you think that way. That's why, like, when you start, and I know it's like just like sport. You get into the cage. I get into the cage. You come there to show, like, to make your dream through. I'm there to make my dream through. Like, let's go and fight. You know.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I think.
Matt, I'm scared. I got to be honest with you. I'm a little scared. I can't wait till Saturday. Go ahead.
No, I mean, look, the great thing about the UFC being a global sport, right, is that you get to know the personality of the fighters on platforms like this. And so I have a map behind me, and usually it's based on like where people are from because of their grit, their fighting power. But at other times like this, the world gets to see like what genuine good people come from Cameroon, or is that where you consider your heart from? Like where in the world, if you had one place to say that your energy was from, where on the map would you put it?
Cameroon.
Yeah. It makes me want to go there because I guarantee you, it's a whole village of people just like you, man, like that are just genuine with that smile and just that energy of just being.
It is crazy. Seriously, it is. And I told you, I've covered this sport since the beginning, UFC 1. And, you know, fighters come in and, you know, they're out, they're ready to go, and they're amped up, and it's 3 days out. And you're even mellowing me out, you know, which, thank you. I need to be, I've gone through some medical stuff, so I need to stay mellow. What other than a fight is like, I get involved in road rage. I can't imagine you doing road rage stuff, yelling at a driver that cuts you out. Or do you?
No.
I
don't. No. Like, what else am I doing? Like, if not fighting, I'm like, just be at home, just like lay on the bed, watch animes, play with my cat. Yes, speak with families, watching fights. So like study, I still like study IT, you know, and mathematics as well. Yeah, sometimes like physics.
What is your favorite fight that you were in? You know, that you've watched. Is there a favorite fight, a favorite fighter?
My favorite fighters, I have a lot now. Before I didn't have that much, but now I have a lot of fighters I really like watching. Like I like Daniel Cormier, John Jones. I like them fight as well when they fought each other. I like this guy. I'll call him Laurent. Laurent. Obviously, everyone knows I like Laurent. He's my teammate. Obviously, like it's not like only like as a fighter. Like
right.
I admire him. You know, look up to him. Like yeah, he's really good. So mention him is like, you know. But obviously, everyone knows. So, but obviously, the first one, like the first fighter I really liked was Laurent Murphy. It was the first one. Like yes, like now it's still like yes, because he's really good and
right.
I know him as a person. But other like, if not Laurent, Daniel Cormier, John Jones, this guy.
Have you already gotten in Dana White's ear about the July 4th White House card?
Sorry?
The big event that's going to hit the White House on July 4th next year? All the fighters have already started saying, I want to be on that card. I want to be on that. Even the media. I'm going to talk to Dana this week and say, I need to be there.
Okay. Like, you know, like for me, it's like, I don't need to ask. You know, I don't want to talk too much. I want to be there. I have to show I have to be there. You know, don't say I want to be there. If you have to be there, just show you have to be there. I will be there because I will show like that's my place. You know, don't just ask, show you have to be there. I will show I have to be there.
Matt, we have, at least I do. I have a new favorite fighter.
Yeah, look, you're mellowing me out, and we're on a computer screen. Away. I feel so relaxed right now. I want to go to Cameroon. I want to train there. I want to learn the culture. I want to learn the food, and I want my daughters to grow up with this kind of energy because it's what's right with the world, man. Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, and I don't want to keep saying it, but you are putting off that, you know, that you're the coolest, calmest, ferocious beast that we're about to see in 3 days.
I don't know. Like I don't know how people see me. I just being me.
Yeah.
Just being me.
Yeah.
I don't try to be like someone. I'm myself. You know, just try to be myself. I'm myself. Don't try to be like someone.
Somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's today's superpower. That's authenticity, and that's the most important quality people can have in today's modern age, especially on social media and influencing. It comes down to authenticity. And you, my brother, you amplify that to the best. So good luck on Saturday, man. We'll be watching.
Final question for you. What can fans expect Saturday when you get in the octagon and that gate is shut?
Like what the fans should expect for my win. They know already.
You don't have to say anything. You just said that. You don't need to prove anything.
They know exactly what they're going to say.
All right.
Yeah.
There you have it. Thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the next couple of days and the process, and have fun on Saturday.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead a quick break. Coming live from the UFC Apex. This is Knockout Radio.
This is Kurt Gowdy, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, scale environment, staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
It's Larry the Cable Guy from the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. You're talking sports with Randy Harris.
And we're back. This is Knockout Radio coming to you live from the Apex in Las Vegas. Randy on site, on scene.
I am.
What do you got going on out there? You look like you're about to fly a jet.
Well, no. He just came back. He left some stuff. I'm like, I didn't do it. I didn't take anything. I know you're a nice guy, but I don't want to,
Computer.
Have you ever gotten a vibe like
I
that
mean,
before? Seriously.
Listen, that's what makes this StreamYard experience and getting live on YouTube, like, because for all these years we've been doing the show together, like having the.
I need to fix so at least people can see.
Well, yeah, you got to get a light coming from behind your camera, like so. So I have a ring light behind my webcam.
Yeah, I've got one too. I'll bring it.
So, but this is what gets people to know the countries. They get to know where on the map that they're located. They get to know the personality of the fighters and what.
I need to interrupt because I'm going to forget. So I promised Perez that you would use 2 different colored pin tags.
Okay.
So because he's the only one that we're going to allow to have dual citizenship or dual fanship or whatever you want to call it. So whatever color pin tags you're using, you need to get 2 of a different color. And then we'll always remember when it's all totally full, it'll be all one color except for 2. And that's because of one person.
Yeah, no, it's what an amazing story. I mean, just, man, I mean, like, that's what makes you a fan of the sport. Like, coming from Afghanistan, a war-torn country, a refugee, and leaving to go to England, and now in America, right? And I mean, it's just incredible to hear these stories, and now the orphanage and fundraising to raise money so I can build a physical school to impact lives. I mean, that's what makes the fight game so special. The more barbaric it is, the more crazy it is, it seems to be the more humble and the more charitable.
I'm going to say it doesn't make the fight game I don't remember how you just said it. How did you just say it? It makes the fight game better in the world or something?
Well, I mean, it just makes people understand it, right? Like you have a personal connection to it, like, because you're sharing their culture and their life
Right.
and their values.
I'm saying the fight game doesn't make it. The world should make the world a better place. Other people should, and they do. There's other people that do this.
Yeah.
From their countries, other countries, but yeah, it definitely is cool, and good stuff. It's been a fun. I know we only got like one more segment. Austin Vanderford will be here momentarily, and we'll close it out, and then
I do have to go at 2:55, so I sent you a text.
my phone's been on airplane mode.
Okay, I'm the carpool dad today, so I got to take off 5 minutes before.
It's no problem. We've seen that we end at 3 minutes before. We'll end at 5 minutes before, so I can go down and eat. How about that? How about them cards?
Sounds perfect to me.
No, it's been fun, and I think I said it in the first hour. I'm really looking forward to doing more of this. Learning how to edit, learning how to take different pictures. I just got to remember to turn the mic on. But other than that, and these chats have been fun because it gets the fans as well as us. Let's be honest. Until you talk to them face to face, any person, doesn't matter athlete or not. Everybody knows their fight game. Everybody knows the basketball players, their basketball, or the NFL guys that do the show. We know what they do on the field. It's who are they as people? What do they do? What makes them tick? How does this very large man from Cameroon turn that switch from the calmest, nicest guy to a hired killer on Saturday? What are you trying to show me?
Well, I just got a call from Mario Lopez. I just missed Mario Lopez's phone call.
Whatever.
Just saying, I got to call him back after the show. We got stuff to do, man. Making moves, Randy. Making moves down here. We got freedom on the horizon. Time to get in front of some big voices and change the world, man.
Whatever. You're killing me.
So I'm committed to. I'm gonna draft you for my army.
No,
Randy.
you definitely need to be committed.
What do you mean committed? I'm talking about I'm going to help you. I'm building an army, a gladiator army, and I want you to be part of it. You can be one of the colonels. What title would you want in my army, Randy?
I don't want to be in your army.
No, you have to be. I'm drafting you.
There's no draft in this country.
There is now.
And just like you
bringing it back.
You can't have the honor of being in the military because you've aged out. I've also aged out of the draft.
Now, do you think that would hold true if we were under a real war? Like if 9/11, when the towers fell and people signed up, came out of retirement and went back into service. Like, do you think if we were in an active war, like a year-long conflict, years long, like Russia versus Ukraine, do you think that people like me that volunteered, that were capable and could enter, do you think they would lift those restrictions if they needed the manpower?
Honestly, yeah, I do. If it got to that point, but that's a whole lot of catastrophes, to get to that point. But yeah, you've got to do what you got to do. I mean, you got 70-year-olds out there, lugging, weapons around. I mean, you got to do to defend. If you don't have 70-year-olds, you take the 72-year-old. If you don't have 35-year-olds, you take the 38-year-olds. Yeah, I would assume you've got to do what you got to do. But
because like on Joe Rogan Experience and Jordan Peterson, they discuss like the mindset and the psychology of it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, right? Meaning like the gardener in a war is useless, defenseless, waiting to be a victim. But I expanded upon it and saying that it's vulnerable to be the only warrior in a garden full of gardeners. Because when things really happen, you can't save anyone, including yourself. It's like a king on a chessboard. So the key is to have a whole army full of warriors that are disciplined, that can control the violence.
But you don't know about those gardeners. Those gardeners could be more than you think they are. Just like
Tai Chi practitioners, like fighters.
Well, like Seagal when he was the chef or the cook, on the ship or whatever. It was totally different. Oh. There goes Joanna Champion just walked by.
Oh, nice.
You don't know. That's the whole thing. I remember somebody throwing an elbow at Jens Pulver one time, not knowing who Jens Pulver is. You don't know who people are, what their background is. So yeah, just because they're the gardener, that doesn't mean that it's not a Gracie disciple. No, we don't know. We don't know. So yeah, I'll take a room full of gardeners that we don't know, and I will infiltrate and put some hired killers in there pretending to be gardeners.
Would you take Helio Gracie, who's probably 100 years old now? Would you take Helio Gracie over an 18-year-old kid that grew up on ultra-processed foods, energy drinks, and a lethargic lifestyle behind a computer screen, gaming, to defend your freedoms as a country?
I'd take the 18-year-old.
Oh, really? You would take the 18-year-old over Helio Gracie?
Over 100-and-some-year-old man?
A Gracie?
Yeah. Over 100.
But instinctively, subconsciously, he wouldn't even have to be able to use vision.
Yeah.
He would just be able to close his eyes and roll.
He would have to still be breathing.
Man.
All right, let's go take our final break, and we'll prepare for Austin Vanderford. And like you said, you'll be leaving early, so we'll end it a couple minutes early as well. Austin should be here by the time we come back from the break. Final break, coming to you live from the UFC Apex. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone.
With Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you.
Rhino Cards, located at 406 11th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, is your one-stop card collection facility, specializing in all sports, Pokemon, Star Wars, and of course, Knockout Radio's favorite, the UFC cards. If you're looking to purchase, sell, or trade, then Rhino Cards is the place for you. Details are coming on some very awesome UFC card giveaways, thanks to Rhino Cards as well. That's Rhino Cards, conveniently located in St. Petersburg on 4th Street and 11th Avenue North. Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds. Fantasy Pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hi, everybody. Ernie Harwell of the Detroit Tigers, and I want to recommend Talking Sports with Randy Harris, one of the great shows of all time.
Are you aware of who Ernie Harwell was? The legend Ernie Harwell? Yeah, put your mic on. Oh my God.
No, I mean, Ernie Harwell had the voice for it. I mean, regardless of whether you knew who he was or not, you hear that voice and you automatically know he was a legend.
And we're going to run down the fight card here in a second. But are there any voices today, you young people or younger people, and then I can even ask somebody even younger than you, who is that voice today? Is there
I would say Joe Rogan. I would say Joe Rogan's probably the biggest, the voice that you hear, you automatically know who it is. I think Joe's huge. And
do you know how big Joe Rogan is? Let me explain to you how big Joe Rogan is. So there was a bunch of UFC early cards, tops whatever year. And my buddy here in Vegas, Greg Hendrick, had a bunch of these cards. And I took him to Ryan Westner, and there were some really good cards in there. Do you know what the most valuable card that was in there was? Joe Rogan.
Wow.
Early.
Yeah.
And I wonder, if you hold on to that, is Joe Rogan's name and legacy and, continues. This is the guy that did, Fear Factor.
Right.
This is a guy that was on, what was it, the something show? I forget what it was called. Something, he's a comedian, a great person. But for now, to him be kind of the be all say all is awesome, because Joe's awesome. Big fan of the person.
Yeah, and it's his podcast influence. That's really what makes it.
He's changed. As people would say a podcast. Do you do a podcast? And I would always correct them. And my wife hated me when, hated me. She didn't hate me. She hated me saying it. I'm like, no, I don't do a podcast. I do a real FCC radio show. Joe Rogan made podcasts cool.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's
definitely. Well, it was Tom Green. If you remember early on, Tom Green started it, and then Joe was like, this is cool. I don't know how you make money from this, but this is definitely cool. And you can just be you without the oversight of like network and scripts and BS. And we know about, that life with Hogan and how that was his dream, just to have his own freedom to be him without any kind of narrative.
Run down the fight card. We got like 4 minutes.
All right. I'm going to have Ankleval versus Alex Pereira for the light heavyweight bout. Your choice. It's one of those fights that you don't know. So until they fight it out, that's what makes you want to tune in, because you don't know. I mean, if Alex didn't have those devastating losses to Izzy, where like people have seen him unconscious and arrows into his lifeless body on the canvas, I think you say Alex can channel that dark energy and win. But and again, the Russians dominant, and I don't know. Depends on who shows up for that fight tonight. Merab versus Corey Sandhagen. That's another one, man. That's another great fight. I just think Merab's too dominant, too big, too strong.
I do too.
I think that stays.
Yeah, I do too. I'm really impressed. His mental as well. Like all of our guests today have said, and we've talked about it before. Mental is a huge portion of a fight game. It definitely is, and Merab has that. So yeah, I'm gonna.
Yuri, former champ, number 2 versus Khalil Roundtree Jr.
God, your pick.
I'm gonna go Khalil. He looked really good against Jones.
Isn't he coming off a loss?
I don't know. No, who did he fight? Who did Khalil fight? Did he fight Pineda?
No.
He had a fight with somebody. There's a massive fight. They went to, well, for lack of better words, war. I'll go Khalil. I think Khalil's got a chip, on the shoulder. He's got something to prove. By the way, about Josh Emmett.
Oh no, he won. I'm sorry. I knew he had a big fight. He beat Jamal Hill.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's it. Josh Emmett versus Yusuf Zalal.
I know Josh is your guy.
Yeah, I'm going Josh. I mean, I don't have any reason not to go with Josh.
All right.
And then to finish off the main card, the middleweight bout, Joe Pfeiffer versus Abyss Magomedov.
How funny was it when Joe brought up, he said he had a strong stomach when we were talking about fishing and don't get seasick. He goes, I got a strong stomach. except for in Mexico. Because remember, he got food poisoning when he was in Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess you don't remember it, but that's
I don't remember that. But
of course not.
Good information. I don't know what that has to do with Germany, but that's where Abus is from. So I'm gonna go Joe Pfeiffer, friend of the show.
I am too. From there, but he's a friend of Philadelphia.
Yeah, well, he's not a brother. That's for sure. He corrected me quickly when he said it was not.
And it was what I thought was even funnier was he saw that I knew because I remembered.
Yeah, you did.
I remembered bringing it up, and he shut that down. You know, not everybody wants to be from Philly.
It's true.
If you're not from Philly, you don't want to be called a Philadelphian.
And they lost the city title of Brotherly Love. It is now Clearwater, Florida.
They didn't lose it. They didn't lose it.
Shout out Hogan. We took it away.
The Philadelphia Eagles will not allow that to leave. The dominant Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
All right, we only got about 40 seconds.
Be safe out there. Do your thing. No friction. Be like Cameroonian.
Yep.
No stress.
No stress.
No traffic. No road rage.
No stress.
Just be macaroni, my brother.
All right, well, go pick up the kids. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on the YouTube channel, on Facebook. We're adding some more cameras. We're getting a bigger studio set up at Cool Breeze AC. A lot of cool stuff is coming. I can't wait. Great week coming up. I'll be going live on YouTube. Matt and I will be going live as well from different events. He'll be at his event. I'll be at mine. And just continue following us on YouTube, on Facebook. And until next week, see ya. in there. Check. Okay, we're good. All right, we are still live on the YouTube channel, and as everybody knows, I'm learning how to do all this. So we've been live since we went off the show 17 minutes ago, which is fortunate because we get to welcome to the show Austin Vanderford, who also fights this weekend. What's up? What's new? What's going on?
Can you hear me there?
Yeah.
Cool. Man, just getting ready to fight Saturday night. Excited and ready to go out put on a show.
What is it about this card? Because every athlete I've talked to so far is happy. It's like and I call it Christmas on Saturday when you guys fight. Everybody's so up, and a lot of times in the past, I remember Rich Franklin. Fight week, he was cutting weight. You didn't want to be near him. I mean, it seems like everything's good right now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so fortunate and just so happy in the spot I'm at and being able to fight in the UFC and I mean, if you're an athlete, if you're a fighter, like this is what you dream of, being able to go do this and go make that walkout at T-Mobile, and I really can't wait for Saturday night.
Not to get ahead of ourselves and yourself, are you already thinking about, and I was just told some things that I won't put out publicly, what about July 4th and the White House card, and are you already putting your name in for that? Because I just put my name in to make sure I cover it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm realistic about the position I'm in, and I made my debut back in February, and I expect to go make fireworks again this Saturday, and and we'll see where all the puzzle pieces fall, but like probably 99% of the UFC roster, I would love to be on the card and have that opportunity. So, it's just up to me to go out and perform and prove that I'm worthy for that.
I'll get off the White House, but you said fireworks, and that's July 4th, so it just makes sense.
There we go.
It just makes sense.
No pun intended.
Right, exactly. Talk to us about your opponent.
Yeah, Ramiz Brahimaj, I believe how. A good guy. He's coming off of 2 straight wins, and he's got a little steam behind him, and he's a good grappler. I'm a good grappler, and I just think it makes for a fun matchup. I love the opponent when I got the call, and I'm just ready to go out and impose my will.
Which do you like better, where you and your opponent basically have the same, grappling or the stand up, or do you want somebody that's different to see which wins out?
To be honest, it really doesn't matter to me. I'm just focused on what I know I'm capable of doing and what I will go out and do. So, if it's a striker, if it's a grappler, if it's a whatever, I'm ready to go out and, like I said, just go and impose my will.
What's the craziest thing that's ever happened in the middle of the fight?
Craziest thing, I remember a few years ago, I was, on top working my ground and pound. My mouth guard popped out, and in the middle of throwing an elbow, I think I threw an elbow, reached back over, grabbed it, put it back in, and then just went back to work. So I and I sensed that the fight was getting ready to be close to over. So I was like, oh shit, my mouth guard, I gotta put that in really quick. I don't really know how it even fell out, but yeah.
That's cool. Marcus Jones, I don't know if you know who that is. He fought at UFC 100, number 1 draft pick of the Tampa Bay Bucks. And he would always tell me that he hated football. He was just good at it.
Yeah.
So I ask, different athletes, do you love this, or are you just good at it, or a combination of both, or a combination of neither?
Man, I love this. To be honest, I've always been
I can tell.
I've always been an aggressive person when it comes to competition, and it's so funny because everyone's like, "Man, you're such a nice guy," And it's like, "Yeah, I think you can be a nice guy, but love to just go and flip that switch on and go compete and go be violent, and that's just what I'm all about."
What is it?
Competition. I don't even think it's the cage door. It's just my drive and my want to win, and and then there's a little bit too of I want to be an example for people. I'm from a small village in Alaska, in Ninilchik, Alaska, and just give hope to other athletes coming from small places who maybe people say you got to move somewhere big to be able to make that, and I want to be the example of that. That's not necessarily true. If you got that drive, you got that will, doesn't matter where you come from. Maybe it'll take a example of that, and just go out and do it.
Talk about your dad. I'm a big military guy. You guys know that. I told you the story off the air. Tell me, about what did he do in the Navy? And it's the Navy. He wasn't just a veteran. He was a Navy vet.
Yeah. So my dad was in the Navy. He served in Vietnam, and he was actually a door gunner. He was a part of the Sea Wolves. He was a door gunner on a helicopter there. So they did a lot of like rescue missions and did a lot of helping out, guys who are in trouble. So, being able to think about that, and I have so much respect for our military and just everything he did. And I really, truly believe that all of that just transferred over to me and makes me be able to go and do what I do.
So let me ask you this, and I haven't asked a fighter this because I try not to be controversial.
Yeah.
Not that this is controversial.
Yeah.
I don't like when fighters say I'm going to war.
I'm the exact same way.
All right.
Yeah.
And I figure because of your dad, I would ask you, and if you do, and I've even changed with the kneeling of the flag, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So everybody has the right to their opinion, but I was just curious because it bothers me. You're not going to war. There's not bullets being flown.
No, 100%.
It's dangerous what you do.
Yeah. But, truthfully, and when you really look at it, what we get to do is fun, and we get to do that because of the guys who really do go to war and truly risk their lives to give us freedom, and all political stuff aside, it's like we're so fortunate to be in the position we're in and to do this. So I've always felt the exact same way. We're not going to war. We're going out to get in a fist fight, and we're doing it for fun. We're doing it for a paycheck, and we get to go home to our family every night afterwards and celebrate with our families and stuff. So yeah, I agree 100%.
Cool. Memorabilia. Do you collect memorabilia? Do you have any memorabilia? What do you collect?
I am a very big sports card collector. So my wife is sitting over here laughing because we're actually going from here to a sports card shop right after this. I'm a big, and again, it's just the competition. I respect what all of these guys do and going out there and putting their bodies on the line and stuff. And it's just fun for me. I've always been a big fan of sports growing up, and now I got a nice little sports card collection, and I have fun doing that.
I purposely, and I told somebody else this, I purposely wasn't even going to up your wife because you and I are talking, and I wanted to do that. But I want to tell you a story. So we're at the Super Bowl, and we're opening some cards. I've never hit anything. Right?
Oh, so you're into it too?
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
cool.
I have every UFC card ever printed.
Oh, crazy.
From back in the early times and whatever. So I don't know if you remember this, but we did a little pack wars at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And she hits an autograph card, and I don't. I've never hit anything. You opened one pack, and she got the card.
That is so crazy.
And then we gave it away, to a listener. What are some of the cards that is your prize possession?
Part of the reason I'm going out to fight, this is not really part, but I just made a big purchase a month ago, I bought a PSA 9 Michael Jordan rookie, or not auto, but rookie. Super nice. Yeah, a little expensive. I won't say the dollar figure here, but anyone could go and check and figure it out.
Sure.
But yeah, I've got that. I'm really into collecting the greats. I'm a big Kobe Bryant fan, and just his mentality in sports and stuff. Really, yeah, I get in, but I will say this. I think the highlight of my week was yesterday. I got a phone call, and I was told that I just got a deal to be in the UFC product now, and that was
Really?
like my dream. Being a kid, being a collector growing up, to be able to have my own sports cards is like the craziest thing to me. So I'm just on cloud 9 about that.
I want to ask you, when you see your name, run on the scroll of ESPN, but before I do, it is safe, not in my house. So if anybody knows where I live, it is not in my house.
Yeah.
I have sealed boxes of Jordan's rookie year.
Oh my gosh.
So
86
and it it kills me. Like, I want to open it. Maybe I'd have your wife open it because she'll hit it.
She's got hot hands. She opens the cards for us, and we play little games and stuff.
Well, you guys do stuff on social media.
We
with
do.
cards, right?
Yep. Yeah. She definitely has the hot hands. So
I'm torn. Do I open it? Do I not?
no,
I'm not.
Save it. I think especially Michael Jordan stuff. It's always just gonna appreciate, and the value is always gonna go up. And unopened stuff is something to collect as well.
I've got the wax packs too.
Oh man.
I ran. It's the only thing that I ever saved that is valuable.
Yeah.
You save everything and it's the wrong stuff.
Yes.
I saved Jose Canseco instead of Mark McGuire.
Yeah.
It's crazy. How will you go through the next couple of days?
Just everything's planned out as far as coaches, diet, everything, and just enjoy my time and have fun, enjoy the experience, and just get mentally prepared to go fight Saturday. But nothing really changes, from event to event. It just go out and
fight. Now back to the cards.
Yeah.
Have you gone to the conventions, the big national card conventions and stuff like that?
Unfortunately, I've never been to the national, and that's something that I would love to do. I usually always have something going on and training and stuff like that. But I hit a pretty big card show up like a month ago in Florida. I was able to get I got a really low printed Kobe Bryant auto and a rookie Patrick Mahomes that I was pretty pumped up about.
So what's the one thing that you want to get next? That one thing, the holy grail.
I would say.
Look at him light up.
Yes. I think it's Skybox. Yeah, I believe Skybox makes the jambalaya, the little jambalaya die cut cards, and a Kobe jambalaya die cut is like probably one of the ones that I really most want to collect and grab. So, we'll see how Saturday goes and see if maybe there's a bonus.
I'll tell you some stuff that's in the safe.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
putting this out.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Have fun.
Awesome.
I call Saturday Fight Day Christmas.
Yeah.
So enjoy the gifts on Saturday.
Appreciate that so much.
All right, we are out.